All right. The realm. What's going on? Mic check. Mic check. Warlord. 1015. $5 super chat. Bang, bang. Notification gang. We in here early. Had to hit it with the Philly early. What's going on, man? Flame, what's going on? Christopher, what's going on? Back for dead. Hustle and motivate my man. What's going on? Let me know the levels is good. Fonzarelli Gaming. I see you. I see you. Six Layer. Good podcast last night. Went away Dragon. What's going on? Chilling. All right, no doubt. Back for dead, my guy. Phantom Kraken, what's up? All right, y'all know what it is. We're going to get Obsidian up in here. Attic, I need a mic check, though. Talk to the people.
Testing. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hustle, wait a couple more days, and then we're going to see where that package is.
All right, no doubt. Hollow the Didn't and On. What's going on? The Itch You Can't Reach. That's a new name. I like that. What's going on, man? Early. Wallo, are you from Philly? Because I know that Bang Bang notification game. That was a crazy Seagull record. I remember. I love that record. Dano, what's up? Rocco Corey, what's up? Let me see what's in there. Pecan Fusion, what's going on? Yeah, man. So look, we're going to get Obsidian in the building, you know, and the King will be pulling up. Saul will be pulling up. And we're going to try to have a good show. Enzo, what's up? So we will see y'all in a bit. And hopefully it'll be a fun one for y'all. Talk to y'all soon. Round. Oh, damn. Centric H, what's going on, my man? $10 super chat. Woo! Ric Flair voice. I got you. All right, now, he from Brooklyn. Oh, you just let that use on that state property. You was repping that beans. Okay, I see you. Nine Lives, what's up? Baba Jide K, what's up? Y'all dressed like 70s Pip. Yeah. It was a classic night. It was a classic night. Tough Dumpling, what's going on? Rest in peace, Black Raw, for real. Rest in peace. That was my joint. Whoa, that was my joint. Anyway, Def Mobile, I see you. All right, we'll be back for real because King gonna come in and you know how the copyright strikes go when he come in with his music. All right, y'all.
second.
All right, the Lords have arrived. Lords of Obsidian have arrived. Mic check. I want to shout out ACG, brother. Thank you for the $50 super chat. I have nothing good to add to this discussion. So here's a game's worth of super chat because you are more fun than most gamers. Truly humbling, Lord ACG, my man. Appreciate you, brother. King's here.
Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I want to do.
Don't stop. No, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. No, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter but I'm anti-social. Love my city but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I want to do.
Don't stop. No, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. No, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. I got, nah, let's switch that up.
What is you
What I
doing?
wanna do
Don't
is-
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that,
super
keep that, keep that going, keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. That's... Whew. I'ma just chill and watch them and eat snacks in the attic. I wanted to chill with the pack and be like a young wolf, but then they would mistake me for addict. If I can imagine, it's cool to give you some advice, then invite your girl to your squadron. Cause if you don't give her that option, you gon' be single player like Sovereign. You gon' get tossed in the bushes by King David. Royalty and not a pretender. Detrimental to an elemental, what's an avatar to a knee bender? I gotta be me though. I know it's my destiny, word to Carnito. Who cares if you fly, if you still a mosquito? You swear you ain't stunting, but really be Steve-O. You like to collect stuff and that's cool, but I got bad news. Even if you really was that dude, King David still be the king of the statues. Since a juvenile, I've been cursed with a curse to be musical. And if you hate it, we'll meet in the crucible. Other than that, then it's cool and it's beautiful. We let you know that your dreams are pursuable. Whatever you wanna do, then it's doable. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day. Woo. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day.
All right. Mic check. Testing, and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 205. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm extremely excited about our special guests, and we've got Obsidian Entertainment, the OuterWorlds latest DLC, interest in SquareEnix, and the latest PS5 firmware to discuss, so we're gonna get right into it. I want to introduce both a lady and a lord whose narrative talents not only contribute to critically acclaimed new IP, but truly breathes fresh life into the sci-fi RPG genre. Whether it be its compelling narrative choices or hilarious companions we meet along the way, all done with a whodunit feel and halcyon murder mystery vibes. Introducing both the game director and narrative designer of the iconic Outer Worlds and developers from the legendary Obsidian Entertainment, the pride of Xbox Game Studios, whose strange inhabitants on Eridanos' only true purpose is to make you smile. Live from Cali and kind enough to make their debut into the realm of the Lords, my fam, Lady Megan Starks and Lord Nitai Poddar of Obsidian Entertainment. How are you lords doing?
Hi. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I want that intro recorded and just I wanted to like
play it
play every time I show up at a meeting.
Listen, we try to get you raises.
Yeah, right. Like, just send it to our bosses. No,
That DLC definitely gonna get
Might as well be the you know, the little intro they do in like WWE back.
Oh man, you both are lords at what you do. Tremendous respect and pleasure to have you both in the realm. So it's only right we show you the proper respect. So first of all, how you guys doing? Just in game mode and relax mode. Like how you guys doing? First, let's start with Lady Megan first.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it feels really nice to have it out. Like, it's crazy how, we started with such a small team in the beginning, and then it just kind of grows over time. And then, a year later, you're like, wow. I always think game development is like how people talk about childbirth, where they're like, oh, you kind of forget the pain of it and you only remember the good parts. So then you immediately want to do it again. So yeah, they already rolled us onto new projects, and it's pretty fun.
Okay. Nice. Great. Good to hear. Lord Nitai, man, pleasure to have you in the room. How are you holding up? Are we getting a chance to relax a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I've been looking forward to this interview. It's one of my favorite things to just talk to other people about the games we enjoy and the games we make. The team that worked on Murder on Eridanos pushed so hard to get this DLC out to the fans. It really was like a labor of love from everybody on the team. Yes. So I'm really happy with the way it landed, and I'm happy that fans had a good time with it.
Absolutely. We're happy the way it landed too.
Yeah.
So before we do the intros, Lord Saw, we want to take care of business, set the tone early with the round.
Of course. So we have the Everborn Saga with the $5 super chat. The Lords are in the building. BX, stand up. Have a great show, fellas. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Then we have I Face Crook with the $5 super chat.
Salute to him.
Sunday is the Lord's Day. Shout out from Chicago. God bless you all. Likewise. Thank you.
God bless.
Salute.
Then we have the Wandering Dutch with the £5 super chat. All right, I'm retiring from podcasting. How the hell do we match a custom freestyle rap intro?
Salute the Lord Dallas, level up. You know what I'm saying? Level it up.
Yeah.
For sure. Then we have Flame with the $5 super chat. Hear ye. We got Obsidian royalty in here, so sit yourselves down and show some respect.
That's right.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Proud of Xbox Game Studios. I'm buying
Exactly. And we are all caught up. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we only have Lord Nitai and Lady Megan for a limited amount of time. So we thank you very much for your super chats, but the vast majority of them will be read after.
Yes.
At the end of the show. So again, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Got to respect the time. So you already know we got the 4 horsemen of gaming, those original lords of the realm here at the round table with those time sensitive, because Obsidian is limited time here intros.
He's talking to you, King.
My co-host with the co-host, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, lord of his own world, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I just realized with new guests, you're making me sound real egotistic right there.
Now.
You finally figured it out, huh?
Oh, man, I'm going to keep my intro short because King going to take half of it. But I appreciate everyone for coming through, and I appreciate our guests.
No doubt. And, of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single-player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, the Lord of Clarity and Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited to have our guest here today. Very quickly, big shout out to everyone over at the Shop Podcast for having me on last night.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic time with my bros. Yeah, man. I didn't realize that was the Shop Podcast was the first interview that I did solo out of ILP, and that was some time ago. As we recall,
annual podcast rounds. How kind of you?
Yes, I know. Sorry about that.
Thank you, sir.
And very quickly, I couldn't help myself.
What?
I've been playing MLB The Show. Sorry.
You went all the way in.
I listen, man. You know me. I had to.
Well, they said Xbox people don't buy games.
That's true.
That's kind of weird, right?
I'm
assuming.
Just out of curiosity, did you buy that, King?
Who, me?
Nah, he's not buying that.
Oh, no. I already downloaded it.
Time. We got guests. We have company.
No
banter. Time. That has been it, sir.
Yes, sir. That has been it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And of course, we have the incredible Hulk of this, a.k.a. the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Prophet of Xbox. King of the statues who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how we doing, sir?
Better than Ben Askren.
Yeah.
Can't go into a fight looking.
Oh my Lord.
Anyway, let's get past that. Been playing Outriders, outstanding. And also I had to binge play the DLC. Right? So I noticed very quickly that they fixed my biggest gripe
Which was?
My biggest gripe the last time when I ended the game, Outer Worlds, and I got to the first DLC, I was already past the point where I can actually access it.
Oh, you was
and
dealing with the Phineas situation.
I was literally so frustrated. I was so upset. I was really pissed off because I had to start my character fresh. I was really upset. So this time when I went in, they had a prompt that told you we can take you back from this part right here. And I think that's great fan service because they listen to the fans, they listen to the gripe, they listen to the problem, and they fixed it immediately. So I was immediately able to jump into the new DLC. So anybody that's worrying about that part right there, you don't have to worry about that.
So you're saying they give you a rewind button?
Well, yeah, you know what? Because it's definitely necessary for individuals that's ignorant like myself. That, I mean, because I found out that I was probably in a very minute minority in doing so, just playing the game on one save and getting
to be fair, they tell you like 8 times, there's no return after this.
But they didn't tell you there's no return for your DLC.
That's true. That is true.
But they fixed it though. I don't care about anything else, but other than it fixing it, and it started off really great. So I can't wait to get into this interview. I was waiting for this all.
No doubt, and of course, my bad. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, Lord Cognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Obviously, got my Murder at Eridanos DLC completed, and we will be discussing that. And shout out to the last word. We had my man Ill Physics on, really knowledgeable guy. So if you want to get your looter shooter on, you want to know what's going on with the latest with Destiny and maybe Bungie's new IP, go check out the last word. It is up there now. But now that we've gotten into what the Lords have been playing, I want to focus on Lady Megan and Lord Nitai, their games industry experience, and of course what led them to the hottest single-player sci-fi RPG from Obsidian and Private Division, The Outer Worlds. But before we do that, let's give the realm a preview of their latest DLC, that Murder at Eridanos. Check it out, y'all.
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Scanning. Scanning. Scanning.
On the outer worlds of the outer worlds, there's a place that's full of cheer. You'll see happy wings, thanks to Rizzo's drinks. There is nothing here to fear. But the deeper you look, the more that you'll be shook. Well, you fill yourself with dread. 'Cause behind all the smiles, every once in a while, somebody ends up dead.
Analysis confirms this is a corpse.
It's just a murder on Eridanos. Mysteries in the air. Murder on Eridanos. Suspects are everywhere. Murder on Eridanos. Oh, will you solve the case? Murder on Eridanos. What is wrong with that guy's face?
Great work, Inspector.
Murder on Eridanos.
10 bits. This is all just some sort of publicity stunt.
All right. We got that Murder on Eridanos love going on. Thank you, Ralph, for checking it out. They said it looks lit. The chat likes it. 9 out of 10. Loves the trailer. You already know. So let's start with Lady Megan first. Can you give the realm a brief background of your specific role, tenure at Obsidian, and of course what led you to the Outer Worlds and Murder at Eridanos, the DLC?
Oh, okay. So I started at Obsidian as a narrative designer on Tyranny, and then I went on to Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and then I joined Outer Worlds after like a year and a half of begging for them to let me on the team. just because like I'm such a fan of, Fallout games, and I was really excited. And I worked on a sci-fi game with WildStar, so I was like really excited to work on it. I had a lot of fun. I worked on the Sublight faction and some different characters in the game, like Sam, and I helped with Vicar Max and stuff like that. And then after the game came out, we needed to make 2 DLCs basically at the same time, slightly staggered. So the main team was making Peril on Gorgon, and then they asked if I could basically start up a small team with about 7 people to get the foundation going for Murder on Eridanos, so that we could be far enough along that when Peril on Gorgon came out, we could like finish up the second DLC. So that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. That's a shout out to Vicar Max. That's one of my favorite
What's funny is
the gangster Vicar. I love him.
I love him.
Corrupt big shotgun.
I noticed you said Pillar of Eternity. I really like that game. Mind you.
Salute. Tremendous. And of course, let's get Lord Nitai in. Again, give the realm a brief background just on your role, your tenure at Obsidian, and obviously, what led you to Outer Worlds.
So I actually started at Obsidian with the Outer Worlds about 4 years ago. I think my first day at Obsidian was basically, okay, so we're doing a game, and it's Fallout meets Firefly, and we don't have a name for it yet, but here's the general plot, so get to work. So I've kind of been with this project like from the start all the way to the end, and it's been a real journey. It's been weird. Like when Obsidian told me, hey, we're going to do a Fallout for the fans, but it's not going to be Fallout because, we're Obsidian and we don't own that IP. I'm like, okay, this is going to make a lot of people very, very happy. And I think the reason I kind of got into it and really enjoyed the process altogether is because I've been playing RPGs since I was like 12 or 13. Like it's kind of been my whole life. Like I started with, D&D, Baldur's Gate, the old school stuff. So that style of role-playing game where you design a character, give them stats, have all kinds of conversation options is like kind of in my DNA. Like I've been doing that since I was a kid, right?
Nice.
So when I got into Outer Worlds and started designing, my attitude was, what would the younger version of me really like to see in a game like this? And I've kind of been carrying that through.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And just to see, I'm sorry, Sof, you were going to say something.
No, just a fantastic.
Well, I noticed very early on the artistic style and the color choices is very vibrant.
Yes.
It's so when you said, the contrast to Fallout is very muted in colors, very dark, very dreary. And when I launched Outer Worlds, I noticed like right from the beginning, it was very vibrant. Was that a direct choice in the beginning that you guys decided to go with?
Yeah, that's basically Tim Kane, Leonard Boyarsky, and our art director, Daniel Alpert, got together and I believe came up with all that type of stuff. And it was included when we pitched it to the publisher, like this is going to be the look of the game. And they had some like sample branding and stuff like that. So it was something very consistent from the beginning that they wanted to stick with. And I agree, I really like it. I think it's super, I don't know, it grabs you as player.
Right. So sometimes it pays off to be unique and have a unique look.
Yeah, I agree, King. It's so vibrant and it's like it's just this color overload, but I like it. It brings you in. I wanted to ask in reference before we get into the specifics of the DLC, like obviously the success you guys have had initially. You guys debuted, I believe it was like number 2 MPD at the time in 2019. You know what I mean? A couple of awards along the way narratively. It's like, so like, how does it feel, a new IP to get some really good reception? Let's start with Nitai first.
I feel vindicated. It's not like, because it's not about like me and the team and Outer Worlds in general, but this is like a flag I've been carrying for a while. I strongly believe pretty much everybody who plays and enjoys video games loves role-playing. Yes. And nobody believes that because people keep saying, oh, role-playing is this little niche and it belongs to a particular genre of games, but everybody loves making a character. Everybody loves getting into a character. Everybody loves building up their own little story. Like we used to do that when we were kids playing pretend and, and that energy is kind of still with us as adults. So if you have a mainstream RPG that's narrative heavy, it's big on choices, it's big on reading. I mean, you have like lots and lots of dialogue options, and it does well. To me, that says there is a really big audience of players who just want to role play, and you can. It's a mine that hasn't been struck yet.
I think the word vindication is perfect, because when you think about the RPGs and how hardcore they are, to see RPG elements permeating basically every single genre of gaming now. As somebody who loves RPGs, you're like, wow, this really, it's not a niche within a niche anymore. It is sort of very.
It's like a standard of game design. Like if you just pick any AAA game off the shelf, I guarantee you there's a 90% chance it's going to be open world action RPG. Like that is the formula now, and it wasn't always like that.
Well, yeah, like even IPs that didn't start that way are that now with their like fourth version. Yeah.
I have one question. How did it feel like being one of the first to launch in Game Pass, knowing that you'll have millions of eyes on your new IP at that point in time? Because it literally changes the landscape on interaction, on if somebody might be iffy on an RPG, and now they can go and try. Because my son walked past and he saw all the colors and he was like, "What you playing, Daddy?" And I'm like, "I'm playing OuterWorlds." And he was like, "It's in Game Pass?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, I'm by," and went straight upstairs. So, my question is, what was when you got the word? What did you think, and what was the reception after that? With the team.
Anyone?
Like both
anyone could ask.
Yeah.
What did you think? That's interesting because when we started the game, it wasn't for Xbox yet.
Right.
So it was like I think when they pitched it, they went to all the big publishers, and then it was that whole like, oh, if you're they're like big publishers, and I think I kind of experienced this in like the novel writing world more. So I don't like hold me to it for games, but like one of the things I've seen is they'll be like, oh, we're looking for something new, but then when you show them something new, they're like, but what audience will it fit? Like, how do we know it'll make money? So we ended up going with Private Division, who took a chance on us, and then once the game was developed far enough, I think it became very enticing. And so when we found out it was going to be on Game Pass, I think it just was like, oh, this is going to be like a huge potential audience. Like it just opens you up to people that you wouldn't have otherwise. So it's just really neat to see like, it can reach more people, and it can open up the demographics of who might be interested in playing it going forward. So for me, it was super exciting. And I think everybody on the team was just stoked to see the reception when it came out and stuff like that. So the main thing you want when you're making a game is just have as many people play it as possible and also have them like it.
That's pretty much it. I feel like Game Pass was really like a gateway for a lot of players to pick up the game who might not have done it otherwise. And I get it. Like it's a depending on how fast you go, it's about like 15 to 30 hours. And like if you just see it on the shelf, right, at your brick and mortar game store, assuming people still go to those, you're gonna hesitate a little bit. But if you've got Game Pass and you see it and you're like, all right, I've got a week and I just want to play something, then you might pick it up and you might not have before. And to me, that's really what it's all about. I mean, of course, it's nice if a game is profitable, but the reason we do this is because we know that there are going to be people who give you their time, which to me is a little bit more valuable than money, and we want to make sure that time is well used. So Game Pass just gave a lot more people an excuse to just pick up and play Outer Worlds, and they wouldn't have done that before. So it's been really gratifying.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think again, it's that opportunity, and just like I said, with people who may have been on the fence, and now it's just extra market, it's extra group of gamers that now say, hey, okay, I have this service, it's in this service day and date, why not, give it a shot? But I want to go back, kind of reflect on what Megan alluded to initially with like the pitch as far as like today's games market, because the question I have for you is like, as far as the challenges, again, it's writing this single player RPG sci-fi, but also you got these corporations, you got these colorful companions, you got this hilarious dark humor. You guys knock it out of the park. So like, how did you have any challenges like now pitching this to whoever the powers may be, or was there pushback? Could you guys explain any challenges you guys experienced during this process, the creative?
Were you in on it, Nitai? I saw, because I was on Deadfire at the time, I saw the updates. We have like big company meetings where, well, before the pandemic, everybody get in a giant room and then each team would give their update. So I got to see like the pitch presentation that they gave to the publishers, and then they would kind of say like, hey, we're shopping it around with people and update us occasionally, but I didn't see I wasn't in the meetings to see the response of the publishers. But yeah, I think in general, it can be tough to you have like if you're dealing with a super big publisher, I think they have an expectation of or having to prove it will make X amount of money in order to like invest the initial budget, you know, even going up the ranks. So I think at the time it was just difficult to say like, yeah, this is brand new, but don't worry, people will really resonate with it. So it was really nice that Private Division was specifically looking for new IPs. Like they were, I think, middle-sized, you know, publisher imprint of Take-Two, 2K. And so basically they're like, that's exactly what they were looking for. And I remember they were really excited about it, which got the team super jazzed about it too. And then Tim Kaine had like made a little Sisty Pig plushie where he like sewed on like tumors that you could like detach with Velcro. Like, well, that's what sold them on it. I think they saw that.
The
they were
plushie.
like,
I forgot about the plushies.
Yeah, that was so gross.
I remember we were sitting at a company meeting and Tim Kaine had like something behind his back that he wasn't showing us, and he's like, so we're meeting with publishers today and I made this, and like he just pulls out a Sisty Pig plushie. And I'm like, Tim, what are you doing? He's like, don't worry, it's gonna charm them, they're gonna get it.
And
I swear, like I don't
and you're like, I gotta start looking for a new job.
So not a plushie.
Part of me is like, part of me is like, what in God's name is going on right now? But like, I feel like Megan is right. Like, so much of making this work is just charming your publishers who are going to be very scared of anything new and different into just trusting you a little bit. And I think once the project was far enough along that you could actually see what it was, right? It wasn't just a bunch of words on paper. Then people started to understand. Like, I remember way back, I think it was the end of 2018, where we actually dropped the trailer for TheOuterWorlds and people kind of understood what this game was. That's when the enthusiasm, not just from the players, but from the publishers and from the studio itself, started picking up. Like, when I think this is true for anybody who does anything creative, whether you're making a game or writing a novel or even like doing a podcast or something. Like, there's a point where you just have to trust that it's going to work out eventually. Like, you know what it is you're trying to do, but nobody else knows, and you have to like kind of prove it.
You got to have it in your gut.
King is that guy for
you
us.
guys.
When you feel it in your gut and you know what you're doing is right, and you can see it, because I visualize it. I'm heavy on visualization, and I see it. I can see the end of the road. But when you guys dropped the trailer, I remember going ecstatic, because I was going nuts. I was absolutely going crazy, and I knew it was coming. I knew the game was coming, and I downloaded a wrong game by mistake, thinking it was
that outer.
All right, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that because we got one person on the panel that really goes crazy. And I said. And I remember coming to the podcast that Sunday, and I was like, that's not what I saw.
What game is that?
Right? And I was like, then I got chastised by Sovereign.
The Wild versus World.
Outer Wilds is equally fantastic.
Yes, it is. We liked it so much we hired the writer.
Really? There you go. Yeah, King. You hear that, King?
Listen, I have no problem with it. But you know, when you ordered steak and then you get French fries or something else, and then which is really good. But anyway, to my point, don't take me down that road. Stop playing. Right? To my point, when I did get the game, it was everything the trailer promised. Like, from the beginning, I was already enthused into the world. And then after I finished it, I was like, man, then the DLC popped up. Then I was like, okay, let's go. Right back at it. Right? But this second DLC has a different tone and feel to it. You know, right from the beginning, because you were brought in from like, the game was giving you breadcrumbs along with the cereals in the game. So you was like, you was enthused about it, but you didn't know much about it. And then you did a whole DLC. I got a question. Was that part of it? Like, leaving those breadcrumbs and knowing that this DLC would have that impact? And it was that?
This is a story, but look at the faces. Making it a time-based faces. What's this about?
Should we tell them that we were just flying by the seat of our pants?
I know. Like, we should just pretend. We should be like, yes, we
Yeah,
did plan
we
that.
had it all in the bag.
Although
exactly.
when we did go to make the DLCs, we did want to use elements from the base game that we hadn't explored fully. So we were like, what's available that we can all pull together, and But yeah, I wish we had, when we were making the first game, been like, and this is what the DLCs are going to be.
Oh, okay. Because I said that, I was like, this is genius.
Good.
So I think that's, I remember when it was like me, Megan, Tim, and like a couple other designers, we were just sitting in an office, back when we could still sit in an office and just working on a whiteboard. And we were like, okay, what do we want to do? What's exciting for us? And then we kind of settled on this idea of a murder mystery would be amazing. I think we just saw Knives Out, and we're totally
Yeah, I was super inspired by that. I was like all fired up.
Knives Out.
Yeah.
Some influence.
We're our roots are really the old school like murder dime novels that that you would have seen back in the 40s and 50s that were like really over the top and really silly and kind of inspired the whole noir genre. Like that's part of OuterWorlds' DNA too. So we said, why don't we do something like that? And then what we started to do is we just started to look at the elements that go into a good murder mystery. And then we looked at our game and said, okay, what of those elements exist in our game? What can we pull? We thought Halcyon Helen was super cool.
We were like, who would be a good victim? Who would be good key suspect?
The Megan way of designing is like, all right, who do we kill? Let's
Who do we kill?
Who do we kill?
We basically started there. We were like, who's dead?
I mean, that's perfect. You work backwards from there.
You know what I really like about it is there's a point in the story where they're like, okay, you got all the suspects. Who is it? I'm just sitting here looking at this. It's like, I ain't really felt like I'm not prepared for this question. Like, what's funny is if you click on to determine who it is, there's no going back. They don't let you go back. You're sitting here looking at this list. I'm like, I'm about to ruin someone's life. Like,
So I want to ask a more general question about how you guys, when it comes to narrative and particularly dialogue, how do you guys sort of work that out when you're creating dialogue for these characters, especially in something like MurderOnEridanos, where the dialogue is really the core of how you get to the mystery? Like, how do you guys, what's your process? If you could sort of shed a little bit of light on that. Do you guys like sit in a room and sort of talk dialogue out between each other to see if it sounds good? Like, do you have,
sometimes
branching, like weird branching things going on? Because I mean, RPG dialogue, obviously.
I want to know who's the bad guy that's always giving the bad lines at the bottom. Like,
he's hilarious.
Well, okay, it seems like
a hilarious dude. Old woman, it's somebody that's doing it.
I mean, I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 writers, 5.5. We borrowed a couple. So yeah, they all have their own characters. But yeah, I think the process for this DLC anyways is like with the key suspects and the victim, I had certain like touchstones for the personality that I was like, hey, I was kind of thinking they might be like this, but I like to leave a lot of creative freedom because, I don't like to, just color in a box or whatever. So it's just a general direction. And mainly that was because I wanted to make sure that there was enough variety between them. You don't want to end up with, iconic characters or key characters that are too similar. And then once the writers do a pass on it, we usually do what's called stubs, which is like the bare bones. It's just functional, so you can play test through it. Then we do a first writing pass. And then me and Nitai and Leonard and sometimes Tim will give feedback on it. And that's kind of like a general high level or maybe a couple of specific notes. And then once they do a second pass, we'll do like an edit or final, like, hey, make sure you add a skill check here, or this would be really fun. But a lot of it is like the writers themselves just knock it out like first pass. They're really good. Yeah.
Pretty impressive. I want to ask Nitai this too, in reference kind of the same thing that Solve is building on, because you got these great dialogue choices, these branches. But what's cool that OuterWorlds does, I feel, is that based on your specification, how you spec your character, if you're very strong in, perception or different things, you can unlock these dialogue choices that really can take the conversation or the quest a whole different route. So the question is, one, with that, how do you guys determine that? And then the other thing is, for the time specifically, the voice acting, because I feel you got the voice actors and actresses that you have are amazing and hilarious. Shout out to the Prophet of Profitability. I always laugh when I speak to there's a couple of I like Phineas is hilarious, obviously. You know, Administrator Ludovico, he's fun. Like this, you guys have some of the most funny voice acted characters. I think that's another underrated strength of the game. So I want you guys to comment kind of on both on that. Nitai, if you can, you want to start with that one.
Sure. This is a complex question, but I'll see if I can break it down a little bit. As Megan said, we do start with a structure because it is a game first. So every NPC you talk to is going to have a purpose within the quest, right? So like Administrator Ludovico, his conversation is structured so that he will take you through the mystery. He's the guy you constantly check in with. When you talk to the Prophet of Profitability, or when you talk to Spencer Woolrich, their conversations are also structured in a way that it works in the quest. But at Obsidian, we're really tough on writing. We can't have NPCs just feel like NPCs. Like this is a big rule for our writers is we take that structure, right, that fits the game, and then we write into it so that
make it organic.
Exactly. So what you're experiencing is like a good, strong writing experience with like good dialogue options, plenty of character, plenty of real personality, but still needs to function as a quest. And then on top of all that, we also have to add the things you were talking about, the perception checks, the intelligence checks, the science checks. Like it's got to, you have all these layers that go into the narrative in our games. And then Megan and Leonard will come in and give us like 30 notes because we got to make it better.
Ooh, just to add on to that, because that is excellent advice. Like if anyone,
30.
If anyone is watching that, you know, does writing yourself or whatnot, I think advice that I would say of how we approach our characters is when you're writing a character, think, what do they want and what are they willing to do to get it? And that kind of determines like how good or evil range they could be, and also like the bounds of their personality, and then also trying to make them relatable. They don't have to be likable, but you have to understand their motivation. So even if you're writing someone like, you know, Handsome Jack for Borderlands, who's like the extreme evil, you still understand why he was doing what he was doing, and
there's context.
What he's like, the extremes he's willing to go to for it. So
that's Spencer. Let me double down. Now I want to give you guys credit again, because what I think that you do, I haven't seen this since Mass Effect, where most games they have, you know, you're the main character, and then, you know, it's rare that you have these two companions and stuff with you. But what I love that Outer Worlds does is, depending on who you have with you, they will insert themselves into the dialogue and have and not to spoil that in this particular DLC, there's something that is phenomenal where it's like this book is good cop bad cop vibe.
Oh my god!
And whoever wrote the time that's you, whoever
that was the Outer Wilds writer, Kelsey.
Oh, that's Outer Worlds writer.
Yeah, King.
Super talented. He's really, really good, and that was entirely her idea.
No, let them finish. The time.
It's just fries, though, King. It's just fries.
The time. Go ahead. I want to hear about that.
So basically, what Megan said is completely accurate. Is that when we write our characters, we do think about what is their voice, what do they want, what do they believe, and what are they willing to do to get what they want. And I think the reason we put so much emphasis on this is just out of respect for the players. Like players are going to be able to sniff out bad writing. Video games have had bad writing for 30 years. and they just kind of, but like players appreciate good writing because we're treating their time and their attention with respect. Now, to dovetail into this talk about voice actors, that's also where we approached that's actually how we approached casting and directing voice actors. We gave them a script, but many of these voice actors, we specifically asked them to treat the script and their characters like real characters. Like we'll give them notes about who this character is, what is their background, what do other people think about them, what do they think of themselves,
what are they afraid of?
Absolutely. And it's had like, so when you get voice actors who are very talented, and you know their grind is basically go into the booth and do like 50 attack lines for Call of Duty or whatever, it's fine. That's what we do. And then you give them a script and we say, okay, here's a real character, here's 250 lines. They love it. They eat it up. They're like, oh my God, I finally have a chance to actually act. And you can see it in their performances. Like they have a great time because we put effort into making the material good enough that they can invest their own talent into bringing out those characters.
They do put their own spin on it too. Like I don't know if it's like this for most writers, but like definitely for me, every time I write, I hear a specific voice or like, oh, they say it like this when I'm writing it. And then when you get into the booth, if you don't try and force the actor into that, if you just see what they bring to the character, a lot of times it's like incredibly different, but so much better.
Yeah, because you have a perception of what you want it to be, and then you allow them to act. And that's really good that you give them that freedom to bring what they want to bring to the character, and if it works that way, it's a little bit more organic.
Yeah, I got to salute them because again, I feel that the way Outer Worlds does the companion interaction, you know, it is so well done because again, if they don't agree or one of them feels strongly, they will interject into this situation. And like
You know,
I said,
that's how I pick my people when I'm leaving, when I'm getting off the ship. I'm like, I don't know, man, you are a problem. I think I gotta
like,
leave you on
like
the
Ellie
ship.
and Byzantium, right at it, get it.
Yeah.
What's funny is me and Cog, we like to little argue on who we want to have, because I'm a huge Ellie fan. Like huge. Like I gotta have the chick with me everyone because she always be saying the craziest stuff. And I mean, it like it's like there was a time in this DLC where something happened and you know one of the things you could choose is like, am I the only one getting tired of hearing this dude's voice? And Ellie's like, I've been tired of hearing this dude's voice.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes like that for sure. You could make some funny things. So let's focus obviously on Murder on Eridanos. Again, you offer Paralagon. This is the new thing. You got this whodunit feel. Question. Whose idea was it about this discrepancy amplifier, which is literally like this detective device that has its own personality and wants to do its own thing? Like, tell me about including that into the game.
I'm pretty sure that was Megan.
No, I was
right?
gonna say it's joint because you're the one who was like, we have to have a magnifying glass, and I was like, yes. So he was like very pushing like that idea of like a detective tool. And then once we were making it, I was like, and it must have a funny personality. So yeah, I would say it was joint. But
I kind of remember how you pushed for that because I know we needed some more gameplay. Like this is one of the things people who played Outer Worlds were hoping from the DLC. Like just give us something that's kind of slightly new and feels a little bit different. So we were playing around with this discrepancy amplifier idea. I think it was Megan that said like, can it just we have the technology to make scope, right? Like you can aim through a scope. So let's just retrofit that into like a thing that lets you look around in the world. And somehow that was enough. Like that just kind of pulled it off.
It was awesome.
I learned real quick when I was doing that expansion. I was like, oh, I got to have my medical up. I got to have my perception up. Constantly asking me for checks on those.
So you want to jump in?
You got to play with your intelligence all the way down. You
the dumb players.
My intelligence,
that is my favorite.
Back from my Fallout days, man. My intelligence is always at a 10. It don't matter what game it is.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so cool. And another thing, what I love about Eridanos is that just your DLCs in general and the structure of Outer Worlds. It's I think Nitai, you mentioned it, which is I personally I have like open world game fatigue. And as soon as I open up a map and I see like 1,000 icons and all this other stuff. So to me, Outer Worlds is refreshing because it's like, okay, I'm going to be in this space or this hub, so to speak, but it's dense. And then what I do affects the game, like more so I feel. So it's like, was that a conscious decision as far as, even writing? Does that kind of a setup and structure help you guys writing wise, as opposed to like having this huge map kind of thing? He's like, yes.
Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you right now, open world, anything to do it well is super difficult because open world is really just one massive level. Right. And we have talented level designers and artists too. And if we told them, hey, we're making an open world and it's going to be highly reactive to anything, they might just explode. Like that's like
I'll put my resumes in. I ain't doing this again.
One of the nice things about having not really hubs, but like self-contained kind of carefully designed levels is that we can define what the story experience in that area is.
Right.
And because we give ourselves those boundaries, we say, okay, Murder on Eridanos takes place in these areas and that's pretty much it. Then we can do more in those areas. Like if we just opened it up and made it like a big Ghost of Tsushima sort of thing, it would actually be harder to make believable, interesting, reactive role play choices. It would be harder to make the world change, right? Because it's just so big. because the arena itself is smaller, you get a better experience, I think.
Well, I mean, it pays off. Yeah.
And what I like, me and Cognito was actually on a podcast with ACG, and we were talking about like the choices you guys went with OuterWorlds. Like, there's this one point in time in the base game where they gave you the option to go to a place that was like the unsafe landing zone. And they're like, you're looking at those like, man, I'm good. And you land there, and then you realize, like, real quick, I'm not good. I'm running.
No doubt. Yeah, but so again, it's just tremendous writing. I love this stuff. I had a question. Shout out to my boy Daniel May from lordsofgaming.net. He has some questions in reference to the dumb dialogue lines specifically of like how's the process for that, and then the other thing is, you know, which specific characters you both had the most fun writing.
It's like
go for the dumb stuff. That was like 90% of the dumb dialogue was you in this DLC. Also, we had like a contest at work where everyone submits their favorite dumb line that they wrote in the base game, and he won the award. And I think it was like the dumbest dialogue writer. So he has been crowned that.
Oh, that's my title now. Nitai, you are the dumb dialogue writer.
You're the dumb dialogue. Shout out to my boy Nitai.
Look, I watched a lot of Simpsons and Futurama growing up.
Yeah.
That's where the dumb comes from. It's basically Captain Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Was it hard?
Captain Homer Simpson. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Was it difficult for you guys to maintain that satirical comedy, like kind of overarching sort of tone for the whole game? Like, or did you guys have different ideas about what that entailed, or was it everybody sort of on the same page about the type of comedy we were going to include in the game?
We do make everybody who joins the team look at our, influences or touchstones specifically for like humor and tone and different things like that. So everybody had to watch the movie Brazil.
Right.
We watched Futurama and Simpsons. What were some of the other ones? Firefly was a big one. I think for our DLC, I was also added, like Clue and Knives Out and Agatha Christie movies or books. And then Mandalorian, since it was more recent. That was a good one.
Any gaming influences you guys look to? Because I looked at the characters and I'm like, this feels very GTA-ish, right? The characters, all of GTA is very much a satire. So I was like, this feels like that.
You know what's funny is I feel like certain games in our game, we didn't so much as be inspired by them, but we probably looked to the same inspiration. Like I know Leonard and Tim really like the Coen brothers.
Right.
One of the touchdowns for the Coen brothers style of storytelling is absurdity. You take something completely ridiculous and you have people treat it as it's an everyday thing. And you take an everyday thing and you have people treat it in the most ridiculous ways.
ways.
You guys do that in this DLC, specifically with. I'm not going to spoil, but the little passenger.
Yes,
that is hilarious. I know what I'm talking about.
So
the little passenger is the funny. That was hilarious.
That's kind of how we keep ourselves from going too over the top, right? Like you would think that it's so colorful and there's so much humor, it's just going to turn silly and ridiculous, but we have to balance silly with serious.
Right.
Like, yes, very funny, very stupid things happen to people, but these are also people who are kind of living their lives in a horrible system. And if you look around OuterWorlds and you look around Eridanos, you'll see a lot of them are unhappy and they're not admitting it. Maybe they're being exploited at their workplace. Like things that are very not funny are right up against things that are very funny. So that's kind of like the secret to our balancing act, I think.
And I have to give you guys, because you can ask the other lords, I'm a very serious tone person. Like I've dropped games that aren't serious tone. I'm like I don't care anymore. But it's just like for some, like the OuterWorlds had the moments are like, yo, that's ridiculous. But it never went over the top where I'm like, uninstall. Like it was always like right before I felt like it was getting out of touch. It's like you guys just took like a rope, was like, okay, it's a little too much. It's getting right back on the line. And I think that's extremely hard to do because it's normally people go off the top like South Park, or they go like real dark. And it's just like you guys found that middle area that I don't think a lot of people can do.
for sure.
I think the weapon design in the game is some of the best.
Yeah.
Like when you get a new gun, and the first thing I do is go to my inventory, and I always match it up against the next gun. You just see, well, let me just try it out first before I decide to keep it. Yeah, I loved it. Oh my god.
Okay, I got Attic. I'm sorry.
The gun weapons, you can ask Cognito. I was in a party with him like 2 weeks ago playing the expansion. I was like, man, because when I play expansions, I like to start the whole game over again. I'm like, I need a shock weapon, man, because these robots are kicking me, man. I need a shock.
I try not to say anything too much because I don't want to give away stuff. I always run with the robot. I love running.
Yo, he's hilarious. Yeah.
He likes to interject himself into certain stuff, trying to push his product,
his cleaning narrative.
I'm like,
the cleaning narrative. For weapons, for me, the melee stuff, just anything melee, anything you can pick up and bash over somebody's head. When you do tactical time dilation with that sort of stuff, it's like
it's hilarious.
For me, it's totally hilarious. I think obviously coming from seeing something like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and whatever, coming from that to see what was it that you guys, in terms of the combat, what were the sort of the pillars of you creating your combat? Was it something that kind of like you focused on, okay, this has to be smoother as a shooting experience, or that wasn't sort of a big deal?
That's a good question. I was not on the combat team.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I don't really. So I'm not 100% sure how to answer that, but I know that one of the touchstones for the game itself, and it included combat as well, is to have choices, right? So we didn't want to create a situation where you had to use handguns or rifles. Like we basically wanted you to have the option to play as much as possible the kind of character you wanted to make. So it comes from a place of, let's let you role play the fantasy. And if you just want to be a big dumb brute who swings around a tossball stick, we're like, okay, we can support that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only playthrough I ain't done on Outer Worlds.
The melee.
I don't know. I just like the snipers in the game, man. I like slowing time down, getting that headshot, because it's like by the time they get to me, I've already killed them all.
I wanted to get back to again, because you guys got great companions and these great bombastic kind. Like, what were some of your two favorites? Like, I'm dying to know that. Megan, you can start. Like, what was some of the
favorite?
Let's start with companions. Let's start with companions. Companions first.
So each writer basically got a companion.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote Sam, and then I helped Leonard write Vicar Max because he was pretty busy. And yeah, I don't know. It was interesting because both of those were, preconceived of like, hey, here's the concept.
Okay.
They knew that they wanted a janitor robot companion, but that was essentially it. Originally, it was just going to have kind of interfacing type lines like wash mode on. And I thought it would be really funny if we added the what if they hired someone to do all of their recording in a studio? Like he has imagine he's got, a bunch of records and he can just put them on the player. And so he's got pre-recorded things he can say that are very commercialized. And so that mix kind of came together and I thought that worked really well. And then with Vicar Max, all of the really smart philosophical stuff is Leonard's genius mind. And then I did all the lowbrow, say hello to my little friend type moments.
Oh, when you use the companion ability. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And then he was always talking about going to prison. And I think Leonard was like, okay, there's more to him than just his prison. I'm like, but that's the most interesting aspect.
I love that you did the prison. I'm like, this is the most corrupt priest kind of guy
ever. And his friend. The remains of his friend.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that the crazy part that when I remember first playing it is because normally in these type of games it takes a minute to get a couple companions, but it's like you guys gave us the preacher and the mechanic right off the bat, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Parvardi, yeah, shout out.
Parvardi's definitely one of the
I gotta salute whoever voice actress as well as the writing. Excellent character. One of the fans. Usually I see a lot of Outer Worlds fans. She's up there on the list. So salute to whoever was responsible. I don't know who that was. But the other question, Megan, again, so we did the companion part. Now, specifically with Murder on Eridanos, any specific characters or moments, we don't want to spoil it as much as you can't. We don't want you to spoil, but that really resonate with you personally.
Well, I actually do really like that as a dumb player, you can accuse yourself, which was Natai's idea. But I also love that when you do it, you like say it was me, blah, blah, blah. And not only is the administrator who hired you like, oh my God, literally every single companion, like all of your companions are in the room and they all chime in and are just like, this is the worst moment of my life. Like, why am I following this guy? And it just kept going and going and going. And I was like dying laughing. But anyways.
You know, it would have been funny if you had like, that was like a secret ending where you get thrown in jail.
Yeah, and then it's like, play again.
No doubt. And to the tie, those same two questions. Any favorite companion or one that you involved with that you really liked, as well as favorite moment in Murder?
You're really going to make me pick a companion.
Yes,
one of the ways we designed the companions is like, all right, we need all our companions to be different enough that everybody's going to like something about them. Like they all have contrasting personalities. So I wrote Felix, so I'm always going to have a soft spot for like Felix's moments. But like I really like Parvati. I think she's amazing. Ashley Birch's voice acting was so good.
The best.
If you take Parvati with you when you grill Bertie Holcomb, oh my God.
I did the good cop bad cop. That was who I took. She was amazing.
I like having Parvati and Ellie because those are my two people. Because like they're literally the opposites. It feels like.
Ellie, so here's the thing: is that I have so many like favorite moments with companions. I think like Ellie's moment with her parents is one of the funniest in the game.
Yeah.
That was I think that was Carrie Patel who wrote that. It was just it was so good. It's so fun. It's got this like super dry, really deadpan, and absolutely hilarious. Like Nyoka's story about her losing her friends is really good. I'd have to say my personal favorite companion has got to be Sam. Because I'm just it's those Futurama roots. I just love a mouthy robot who says the stupidest things at the best. There's a moment in the base game where if you play a dumb character and you talk to Sophia Akande about like her plan of what to do with the colony, you can be like, hang on, I gotta ask all my companions, and you turn directly to your robot. He's like, well, I think you should buy more cleaning solutions. It's like, oh my God, it's the best.
I love him. I take him all over the place.
Absolutely. Kind of a grounded question. Obviously, you know, we're in a pandemic. Game development is different. So what are challenges, you know, did you guys have? You know, I'm assuming, you know, creating this DLC during these circumstances. How different and difficult was it for you guys? Any case?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Sure, I can go. The pandemic's been tough for game dev. It was tough for us. It's tough for everybody. In a lot of ways, I think the biggest challenge is that for a lot of people, like going from an office immediately to working from home, there's really no physical separation between the place you work and the place you live. And game dev, the amount of work that goes into game dev, it's very easy for those boundaries to just kind of dissolve, where you just find yourself working later because you're already in your bedroom or you're already in your living room or something like that. I know like a lot of our designers pushed hard to get this out the door, you know, as a labor of love to the fans, but doing that out of quarantine is exhausting. And 2020 was a rough year, to put it as an understatement. I know that voice acting was also super difficult. Like we had to remotely record every single actor. So we had like this deconstructed studio where the audio guys were up in Canada and we had an actor over in LA, and it was, I don't know how it got done. It is a small miracle that this DLC came out with the quality of voice acting that it did. Because I have no idea how it got done having voice actors all over the world.
Well, we wanted Allegra Clark for Halcyon Helen's voice, and she's very in demand. So her schedule was super tight, and then the time that we had to record was pretty tight. And then one of her friends or coworkers, I think, accidentally exposed her to COVID, so she had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So we were like super nervous about like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to record with her? Are we going to have to try and find somebody else last minute? So it worked out, but it was a little hectic with certain things like that. I think for the internal team, it was actually pretty smooth because we just went into the office, got our computers, brought them home, and then we just do this. You know, we would, you know, talk on IM Slack all day, and then, you know, you don't get to like turn around and just immediately be able to ask someone who sits behind you or, you know, walk down the hall and knock on their door. But it's pretty easy to just message someone and be like, hey, can you hop on a quick call and video chat? Also, slightly unrelated, but I was kind of thinking about it when we were talking about the whole like pitching and working with publishers and stuff like that. I did just want to clarify. Private Division was super awesome to work with. Like I have worked with different publishers for different games and different studios, and they like were super like in tune to what we were trying to do and very supportive, and like they're just all around awesome. But then also I feel like the process with being you know, a bid studio and having to pitch to different publishers is completely different than actually being Microsoft owned. Like Microsoft was like, we bought you as a studio because we value the games that you make and we're interested to see what type of games you'll make. So as far as I know, we've not had to do anything like that as a Microsoft studio. It's just like, hey, all of our projects are funded because we have a studio budget and we're good every year. So that's been like a huge relief, at least for me as like a normal, you know, bottom level developer. And I think it felt extra stable during the pandemic of like, we were able to bring our equipment home and keep working and like nothing really changed. Whereas like if we were how we were before, if we were like, hey, we're trying to spin up a new project and we have to try and get funding for it, it would have been a lot more stressful during the pandemic for sure.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest questions. What was it like after the acquisition, and how was it received by the team? And you expressed relief. So that was I was going there.
I was going there too.
Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. For me,
it
was like it was super awesome because one, the studio is then financially stable and then also able to like make the type of projects that they've wanted to do. Like it enabled them to do like Grounded and a project that Josh Sawyer is working on right now.
That project.
And Grounded is super successful.
Yeah,
and had you had to pitch that, you know, to somebody else, I don't think that it would have had the life. But the fact that it was also, listen, I'm Captain Game Pass.
I already know.
So, Game Pass, and it allowed people, because you know people was really skeptical and they were saying that it was a kiddie game and all this other stuff. But when you get a chance to touch it and get a chance to play it, it opens you up to different things. And now that I'm seeing this, especially during this pandemic time and financially, people don't have the finances to go out and try different experiences. I see this as a boon for developers in gaming. When I purchased OuterWorlds, and then I automatically got the season pass, you know, it didn't even feel like we because you're investing back into the company, right? And also I purchased the game regardless, but it allowed me to try it. I loved it. I wanted more, and I said, oh, they're coming out with DLC. I purchased it. Have you seen that as a reaction, that most of the people that purchased the game or played the game actually went out to get the DLC?
See with Peril the Gorgon and Marinette, like, are you guys seeing any type of engagement there?
Definitely. No, that's exactly, like, this is a story we hear a lot. It's like, well, I saw Outer Worlds on Game Pass. I tried it. I loved it so much. I decided to just go and buy it to support you guys. This is a thing that we know because we play games too, and we're part of this community too. But sometimes it's harder to communicate up to the highest level, is that people who play games will happily support a developer who puts in work and gives them something that they love. They will 100% do that. And one of the nice things, just to echo what Megan said about working with Private Division, working with Microsoft, is not only do they get the kind of games that Obsidian is good at making, but they just kind of like support us with hands off. You know, like we've been doing this for a long time, and they haven't come in and said, okay, we own you now, make the kind of games that we want.
They weren't the board. They didn't act like the board.
It was a huge fear in that, and I'm glad that you said that, because it's a huge fear in certain parts of our toxic community that was saying, oh, once Microsoft purchases them, they will no longer be the same. They won't have a soul. And it's great to hear that you guys are able to work on projects that you love, and you're doing this stuff without the overarching, dark cloud on top of you. And it's been a totally different experience. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that part? Because
sure. Here's the thing is, I get it. Change scares people, and we have seen so many situations where a really big publishing corporation comes in, takes over, and the game that you used to love is just not the same thing anymore. It's happened so many times that I don't necessarily blame people for being a little bit gun shy about that. the idea that, oh, it's not the same Obsidian, well, it isn't, because we're stable now, so we can do things, and we can like experiment more, and we can really put ourselves out there without necessarily having to worry about, hey, are we going to be financially stable at the end of this project? Like that's the good kind of growth that you do want to see in the industry. So I'm really happy about the Microsoft acquisition. I'm happy about Private Division support. They've been fantastic from start to finish.
Yeah, salute to the team. And I'm sorry, you wanted to jump in there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, just salute, because at the end of the day, as for game dev, that has to be a peace of mind. That security. Okay, we could do what we want to do. And then again, Megan, great points in reference to. And Nitai, reference to the the conditions working during the pandemic, how things change, and you guys still put out arguably a lot of community. The realm says MurderOnEridanos is that one. And, as far as DLC, no disrespect to the Peril or Gorgon team, we liked it. We did like it, but like just to have
it did give me one of my favorite guns. So
yes. Shout out to those weapons.
I killed the boss from the second expansion with the gun from the chick from the first expansion.
No, salute, and it's just cool to see it. And the future looks bright. Obviously you guys are one of our favorite Xbox game studios, and again, salute to Private Division again with initially supporting the vision in the very beginning to get it up off the ground and believe in you guys. So just like the culture, I just conclude excited for the future, and obviously this game was received well, so I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but we would love for TheOuterWorlds we would love to see this thing continue. What are your thoughts, Lady Megan and Lord Nitai? Without getting in too much trouble.
My lips are sealed.
Okay.
So, but I would ask this in reference to the future. Do you guys, as narrative creators, is there anything you've seen on the tech side that makes it's really exciting for you in terms of what you can do narratively in a game? Like, we've heard about things that, improvements in AI and stuff like that to sort of make the worlds more reactive and grounded and real. As narrative creators, does that sort of stuff excite you? Have you seen anything already, just in whatever it is that you're working on now, that sort of pushes those boundaries in a way that you haven't been able to do before?
We got
I know. I'm like, we should. Well, we do have. So I think I could be biased, but having worked at different studios, I actually think that Obsidian has one of the most robust writing and VO type tool set in the industry, to the point where other Xbox studios are actually requesting access to it and looking at it and stuff like that. And we've been meeting with some teams, won't mention any names, that are working on very cool projects to teach them how to get the most out of the tool set. And we have a dedicated tools team that has been supporting that pretty much since the start of the studio. So a very long time has gone into that. On the flip side, we then get to say hey, what is an area that we would like to improve on in our next game, and then reach out to a studio and say, hey, we thought that your AI or how you handled your animations were really cool. Could we look at some of your stuff? So that's really nice.
And I think that pushes the whole engine up. The fact that you guys have access to a network, they have access to you guys.
Yeah,
so it will make the whole engine better in general.
My next question was the fact that there are so many development studios. I believe you're at 23 to 26 now. With different
23 to 20. Oh my
wow.
God!
I love it. Just keep adding.
It's one or the other.
It's one or the other.
Next time when we hear about the Game Pass subscribers, it's only 25 million.
Oh, I already know the number. Anyway. 23, 26. Anyway, the fact that you guys have those development teams and you're able to have that pipeline to reach over to ask other developers. I saw this, and could we use this? That happens between you guys as frequently as we would hope. That's the question I have.
Oh, okay. So I will say there's not, and I know this is something that, or I was told at least, that there's no mandate from Microsoft that's everybody needs to use the same tool sets, because they don't want the games to feel too samey, right? Nice. So it's very organic. They encourage it, but it has to be one studio has to say, actually, we thought that, what this game did was really cool, and then reach out to them directly. It is really, really easy for us to get in touch with each other. And Microsoft does do like summits. Like I just went to a franchise summit, and they have narrative summit coming up where, you know, people from every studio, they send anyone who's interested, and then you can all get together and, you know, share lessons you've learned or things you're struggling with, or, you know, talk about your tool sets and your processes. And so it's really cool.
That is awesome. I mean, super refreshing. I'll let you go. So I just got to get this off.
No, absolutely. Because,
you know, again, the mindset, the Twitterverse is, again, the evil board of Microsoft's come in, and, you know, you guys are going to be restrained, and no one can do anything. And to hear you guys say, you know, that the collaboration is encouraged between other studios, and what I love what you said, Megan, is when, you know, the gods of Obsidian, that narrative, they had to lean on you. It's one of the best. They had to come. The other studios, rest in peace, my brother Dizzy. If Dizzy was here, he'd be because he's a big Ninja. They had to come to you. They had to come. They had to get that wealth of narrative knowledge. But what's cool is, you know, as a team, you all say, hey, you know, we may need to improve here, or we like what you guys did with AI here, or so. And just to see that synergy within Xbox Game Studios is really refreshing to hear. I'll give it to Solve, and then we'll wrap up with time soon. Get at it. Solve it at it.
I do have a question that someone asked in the chat that I thought was interesting. What is, both of you, what is your favorite companion-to-companion dialogue? Because I thought that was an interesting question.
I really like Felix and Vic or Max, because like there's a bunch of ones where Felix is like, hey Vic, can I call you Vic? And he's like, no. And there's one where like I think Felix got drunk and stumbled into Max's room at like 2 a.m. and he's like, you know, I'll take your confession anytime, but not then, or something.
Nitai, any of those moments for you?
I really like Felix and Parvati. I think they're very sweet in a kind of silly way. Like Felix has this thing where he's trying to explain tossball to Parvati, and Parvati's just like, yeah, okay, I don't understand this at all. Okay, so the thing about tossball is that internally as a studio, none of us know how it works.
I love this fictional thing.
We make things up. There's a 30-second back, and like you can like score in the third half. It's just complete nonsense.
Sounds like Friday Night Football.
Yeah, right. Friday Night Football.
Look, I know we have both of you at a time. Any other questions I want to wrap up? Yeah,
really quick. Is there a big difference between making a CRPG type game like Pillars and something like, you know, first person like OuterWorlds, or is it kind of the same process?
Some of the big differences are how the player moves through the map or the world. So like in CRPG, it's going to be a lot more linear. Like you might have a couple of entrances and exits, but you know, you move like across. Whereas, you know, open world space, it's like the player can go in almost any order, talk to people in any way. And so I think there is a lot more reactivity or edge cases that you have to build for. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Out of curiosity, which ones do you guys prefer to develop for?
The one they just did.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, because some people like the Pillars type of game.
There are different types of games. I think the first person Outer Worlds style of game it has a much wider reach. Like pretty much anybody, like we all know what an FPS is. We all know how to get into it. It's more immersive, I think, because it's an FPS. I do like the isometric stuff. I enjoy Divinity Original Sin 2. I enjoy Pillars.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Because
game,
like my roots are D&D, and when I play those games, what I want is to feel like I'm sitting at a D&D table with a really cool game master. Like it's a very different experience, but
point.
It's still a good one.
It does feel more pen and paper,
you know, not to divert too much, but it is a nice experience. Like, because I remember when I would play like the Divinity, like, you know, you're going over everything with people. He's like, okay, I'm going to teleport this dude up here. You're going to hit him up here, and we're going to finish him. And then before you know, 5 minutes later, everyone's dead. So it's like, that wasn't the right move.
No. So look, we got to wrap. We got our esteemed guest at their limit. So we have to ask the question that we ask all the lords and ladies in the realm. I need from both of you. Lady Megan, Lord Nitai, what are your top 5 video games or franchises of all time? Let's start with Lord Nitai first.
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot here.
I was gonna make you go first too.
My number one is Street Fighter.
That's a good one.
When I was 6 years old, my neighbor had a Super Nintendo, and he had Street Fighter 2, and it was the first game I've ever played. I'm a huge FGC fan. I will be until I'm 60 years old. I'm also a Final Fantasy fan. This is again something I grew up with.
Okay.
Here we go.
We got to back you up. Me and Sav have a very. Which is your favorite Final Fantasy, sir?
I am completely in love with Final Fantasy 14 lately.
Okay. He's the MMO head. Okay.
I think my favorite of all time has to be 6.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful and it's so good.
We're just gonna stop at the 14.
You were doing so well, Lord Nitai.
No. Pretty good. You're pretty good. Let's go.
I like the 7 remake. I thought it was fun.
All right. You're back in. You're back in.
All right.
Yeah, it's fun. It was.
All right. So we got.
I thought it was quaint.
It was cute.
Number 3 is probably Dungeons and Dragons. Again, just something I grew up with. Something that's been with me for a long time.
Yes.
I'm really in love with Shadow of the Colossus. It's the only game I've ever played where narrative design, enemy design, and level design are exactly the same thing. Like that's pretty much all it is.
That is such a good one. Yeah.
What is my number 5? I'm stuck here. Oh wait, I know exactly what my number 5 is. It is a franchise that's near and dear to my heart that I miss because I don't think it's been done well for a really long time. But it's Dynasty Warriors.
I like
to play that growing up.
I like that. I had to toss that in the bushes too.
Ty, have you ever played the Dynasty Warriors fighting game? The original Dynasty Warriors?
On PlayStation 1, I have not, but I know about it. I think. I really miss 4 and 5, and I wish Sony would just take those games and make them available to play at some point, but they don't seem to want to do that. And that is
I saw the trailer for the new one. It looked really good.
Yeah, and you said something that I definitely. It is probably a lot different for a dev playing games. They just look at how'd they do that. I that is probably a huge difference from someone that don't know anything about development cycle, knows development cycle playing a game.
No doubt. So let's get Lady Megan her top 5 video games or franchises of all time.
Okay. I think I've mentioned these a lot, and also if you play the DLC, I think you'll see the influences in it. But my top ones of all time are BioShock, Fallout, Borderlands, Witcher 3, and Portal.
Oh yeah, Portal.
And I think one time, a guy told me those are all the same game, and I was like, I guess I have a type for my favorite.
So you're gonna ask them the major question, right?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get it. I didn't get it. I just
out of curiosity, which Fallout?
Oh no, you'll get people mad at me. I like both. Okay, so it's different.
There's not an inside joke. You'll be fine.
No. I like both of them equally, but the first one that I played was Fallout 3, and so I think just that first experience of it, it's will always hold a special place in my heart. And then obviously New Vegas is awesome.
Right.
So
that's
right.
Hey, chat. Notice she didn't say 4. I just want to point that out.
And to King's question, like you said, we asked both of you.
Here we go.
From any generation, favorite console and why? So Lord Nitai first.
Oh my God!
Any generation.
They thought it was over.
Thought it was over. It's not over.
This is. I don't talk about this a lot because nobody really talks about this console anymore. But when I was young, I really loved the Sega Saturn.
Thank you very much.
Nitai,
you're welcome here.
I love you.
Saturn
for the kids.
Yes.
When we were young, there was a rivalry between Sega and PlayStation, and for a very long time they went head to head. I still think the Dreamcast is a seriously underrated console that died way too early. It had its own built-in 56K. You could play Phantasy Star Online. It was doing things that nobody else ever did, and then it just died. I think it is a huge loss to just gaming that entire generation of console kind of faded into obscurity.
So, Saturn. I mean,
who have just
made a kinship.
Thank you.
Yes, we are here.
Did you see there's a Netflix documentary about old gaming? Well, it might not have been just about that, but it included Sega. They're how they shot to famous. Yeah, it was really good.
And how they imploded afterwards.
It is what it is because it was two companies and one. But okay,
Lady Megan, your favorite console of all time, any generation, and why?
Well, I think mine is split because when I was growing up, we had Super Nintendo in our house, but it was only because my dad played games, and so the only games we had for it were like Desert Strike and like wrestling and those type of like oh man, my brain just slipped out.
You good.
The Nazi one. Killing Nazis.
Yeah.
Why did my brain like Wolfenstein? I was like, oh, my brain went to say it. But yeah, so I grew up on those type of games, and then watching my dad play Doom on the computer. And then when I went off to college, I bought myself a PlayStation 3, and I remember like Uncharted kind of came with it, and it was the first time I saw like, wow, look at how video games look now. Like back then, it would like give you headaches if you played it for too long because it was like so sharp and bright. So yeah, I think for me it was like a huge jump between what I had experienced.
I'm gonna force you to pick one now. You're hedging, man. I need that one. Is it PlayStation 3? Or is
it's probably the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
I would have
asked her to pick some. So you asked her to pick between life and life.
Listen, you gotta choose between your children.
That was good.
Look, this is an absolute pleasure. Lady Megan Lord Nitai of Obsidian Entertainment. An absolute pleasure to have both of you in the room. Where can the fine people find you, and what else do you have going on? Let's start with Lord Nitai first.
Unfortunately, you guys can't find me anywhere. I'm not on any kind of social media. Invite me back again. That's how you can find me.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I love your insight. Love what you guys do on the team. Tremendous. We are super excited for the future.
And you know, what we try to like really preach here is like, look, like just because some games might come out buggy, not saying OuterWorlds did. It's like there's still developers behind these, and they still have emotions. It's like you can give constructive criticism without doing a 2-hour podcast, like destroying the game for no reason. Like,
exactly. Salute. We total appreciation for what you guys are doing, and of course, Lady Megan, who is on social media. Where can the five people find you, and what else do you have going on?
Oh, I'm on Twitter. My handle is Fictivate, which is made up word.
You already put it in the chat.
Yeah. It just means made up word means to make fiction, basically. And so what do I have going on? Hobby wise, I did put out an urban fantasy novel, late 2019, called House of Ash and Brimstone. It's really cool. It's kind of like a Buffy type influence on it. And I did take a break on writing novels when Obsidian asked me to be the game director on the DLC, just because it's a lot of work, and pandemic was pretty crazy too. So now that all that's wrapped up, I'm going to try and get back into it.
Nice. Absolute pleasure. Again, continue the great work. The Lords of Obsidian. Greatness is in the building. Salute the Private Division. Salute the Xbox Game Studio. This is tremendous. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Super informative.
It was really fun. Thank you.
I had a great time. Thank you.
It's super cool.
It's like, you know, we were saying before being on the show, especially me and Cognito, like we've always said, man, we got to get Obsidian. We've been doing this since 2016.
You're first.
And it's like every year that we get a little bit more grace, you know, when you guys got bought by Microsoft, I was like, there it is. That's
this is our shot.
But still, it did take a couple years even after that happened.
We're so humble. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much. We're going to continue rambling on, talking on our show, but I wanted to give you guys the proper outro and enjoy your day. Thank you again. The Lords of Obsidian Entertainment, Xbox Game Studios, Private Division. Salute. Have a good one.
Have a blessed day.
Put those links in the chat again, Hustle.
No doubt. I will get poll and all that other stuff as we continue. Blah, blah, blah. 1 second. Do we got? Now, Soft. How you want to handle super chats? How you want to
just do the
super
chats?
Just come now.
Super chats.
Okay.
So we got the Everborn Saga, $5 super chat. The Lords are in the building. BX stand up. I read these already. Hold on a second. We got Slow Mo Backslap, $5 super chat. Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and addict. Glad to see Obsidian in the room. One of the best WRPG devs. Can't wait for Outer Worlds 2. We got a on that one. So we'll see. Then we've got Dovakin89 with the $5 super chat. Can we expect another Fallout from Obsidian? Love you guys. Keep up the good work.
That's one of the reasons we waited till after that.
Yes. We know the NDA questions are coming.
Exactly.
Yeah,
then we
had to get them out so they didn't have to deal with this. Yeah.
Then we've got Sage with the $20 super chat. Let it be known that I personally find Obsidian to be one of the best game developers on the planet. South Park Stick of Truth is one of my all-time favorite video games and RPGs. So well done, so creative. Love you guys. Yo, I forgot about South Park. Wow.
I forgot about that.
They didn't specifically work on that, but well, I mean, I don't know. Are they still in the chat? I still hear Megan.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, was I supposed to leave? You're like, can you guys?
No. Look, out of respect, we were told
because we're
long
long form.
We're long form.
We're gonna do 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We respect your time. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so let me ask, Megan, did you work on this? No.
No, I didn't work on South Park. But some of the people, like I think our lead combat designer Charles Staples, he was on it. A bunch of the people at the studio have just rolled from project to project. Like when I started on Tyranny, my boss, Matt McLean, so basically I was telling him, oh my God, my favorite in New Vegas was Caesar's Legion. He was just like, oh yeah, I wrote that. And I was like, wow. I don't know, like it's weird to be like all these games that you love, all of a sudden the people who made them are just like your normal coworkers. It's weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we have East Texas Alex with the $5 super chat. Hello everyone. Just showing support. I'll be checking out the show tomorrow at work. Have a great show. Thank you, man. Then we have Gamers Play with the $5 super chat. Shout out to the devs of Obsidian. Outer Worlds is my fifth favorite open world RPG. Great characters and humor as well. Love to the Iron Lords for hosting.
Salute.
Yeah.
Then we have Dodge Treatment with the $5 super chat. Yo, can I get a TLC TV? Favorite podcast, audio only listener, just dropping off some love. Peace. R.I.P. PlayStation. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen this sort of discourse, in our super chats. We have Brett Bingham, $2 super chat. Your favorite companion to companion dialogues? I think that's the one that Attic read before. BitCloud Gaming with the $5 super chat. Almost 500 people here. Let's go. Get to 400 likes. Salute to the Brothers Iron Lords podcast.
Salute, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, bro.
Then we have Lord Brap with the $2 super chat. Salute, Lords. Thank you, my brother. Then we have Kid Smooth with the $10 super chat. I paired Pervati. I don't know about Pervati. I don't know how
I know character he's playing.
That's another character.
Different character. He made up a character.
I paired Pervati with Vicar for 80% of my playthrough. Y'all did an amazing job with Pervati. She got me through many scenarios with ease. 2019 Game of the Year. Good job.
Woo,
I can't get Pervati out of my head now.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
We have Aaron with the $5 super chat. How does it feel being sister studios to Bethesda / ZeniMax? Please, I need to know.
Trying to get information.
Megan stays quiet.
Sorry. Ty messaged me after. Sorry, can you repeat? I was badly multitasking. What's the question? Okay.
How does it feel to be the sister studio to Bethesda / ZeniMax? Please, I need to know.
I think it's super cool. I can't wait to see them at like the summits that we do because I'm a huge fan of their games. And one time I think I got to go to one of their parties and I was like really starry-eyed. So I'm gonna be that person who's like bugging them and they're like, hey, we'll see.
Then we have Hustle and Motivate, $5 super chat. The Dreamcast walked so the Xbox could run. Great interview, guys. Lady Megan said the SNES was her favorite, so she's lit.
Well, that was Nitai. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Nitai.
Oh no, sorry. Super Nintendo. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking. I need another cup of coffee. Sorry.
Now, hold on. We have Brett Bingham once again with the $5 super chat. Microsoft and Sony fighting over SquareEnix like Peter and the chicken from Family Guy.
Not really. It's no fight. One person has money and the other person doesn't.
Oh my God.
Then we have Gerald Mack, $5 super chat. Shout out to the ILP here on vacation in Vegas, but it's still the Lord's Day. Great show. Great guests. One love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
having all your fun, and you tuned in. I love you.
Then we have Sage once again with the $5 super chat. I behaved myself today because of the fantastic Obsidian guests. I'm still in Twitter jail doing my time. This podcast is my yard time.
He texted me from Twitter jail because he added me to a group, and he apologized that he added me to the group. Thank you for apologizing.
I would ask you to tell me what you did on Twitter, but you can't because you're in jail.
He can't tell us.
It's really messy.
What else we got, Sal?
Last but not least, Malik Tyler with the $5 super chat. R.I.P. PlayStation. All hail Lord Spencer.
There we go.
Here we go.
Your King's people come.
Okay, are you sure, Megan? You gonna stick
No,
around?
I was just waiting. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't want to like just leave right in the middle.
No, it's fine. No,
not. Like, see, the thing is it gets a little messy.
Yeah.
You have to
I'm gonna go make lunch.
Yeah, please do. We appreciate
But no,
your
thank
time,
you
Megan.
so much for having us on. It was really
Megan.
cool.
This was so much fun. And we hope to have you back.
All right, have a good one.
Absolutely.
You too.
Salute.
Bye-bye.
What else
Okay,
we got?
so we're caught up. We're good.
all the
Like
way
it
up?
be messy.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me just finish something up.
King could take the gloves off now.
No.
King,
You know,
wanna
at first I
act up?
didn't want to. I didn't want to get too much into the murder mystery because a lot of times you might say some things, and you guys are really good with like the.
Yeah, because I'm trying. It's so I don't want to give it away, but I want to. Because
there's a lot of jokes in there, and then I love taking a robot, and the robot says some weird stuff at so wild times. So
someone said we lost the queen to the talks to chat.
Salute to Megan for even considering rocking out. That was awesome.
That was beautiful.
So let's get to the poll, and we get into these two topics. Then get pushing. Last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question with the latest Bloomberg article stating Sony's focus on blockbuster titles. How concerned are you with the overall direction of Sony moving forward throughout the generation? The winner at a commanding 72% of the vote was very concerned. Leadership is money chasing and losing the identity of the Sony brand. Coming in at second at 18%, King's laughing, of the vote was the Messy Lords. I don't care until it's TV, and they start remaking more remakes. And at last place at only 9% of the vote was I am not concerned. Sony is still the market leader and with the best games group.
Notice how y'all in last place. That market leader stuff changed as soon as it started.
Shout out to the realm. And, like I said, new poll coming at the end of the show. Let's get into these topics. A couple quick hitters. Lord Addict, you are up, man.
We gonna talk about the C-bomb?
What's the C-bomb? What's going on?
But people, PlayStation's dead. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Always go.
They dead, son.
You want to do that now?
When we go down, son, they dead, son.
Like we got
what's this about the battery?
The CMOS. The CMOS.
I have no.
Who the hell uses CMOS?
Are we talking about the batteries that die? Like,
I'm talking about the PlayStation 4, Jay, but I thought we saved that for
didn't the PS4 have the same thing?
Yes. So
my
check it
PS4
out,
never
right?
died, so we can continue.
So check it out. What other people did.
Clearly, King wants to talk about this. So
check it out. So this is because I found it really hilarious, right? They copied the same mistake. Same dude that designed it is in charge. He made the same mistake last time and he did it again, right? So right now, if your memory dies, right, the little CMOS, the little CBAP, the little round one, if it died, you can't access none of your digital stuff. So whatever you bought digitally, right? But you can't play physical either.
So it's not replaceable?
Nah, I don't think
that's
so.
my understanding.
It won't have the memory on
That's crazy.
You could put it in, but it ain't.
I mean, you could literally, like on a Sega Saturn, you could literally replace that. You know?
Yeah, but not there though.
Wow. So
I just found it funny. Let's go. That's all. I just want to be shade. I want to go shade.
Let me get these super chats real quick. We got post up $5 super chat. Game Pass gang. You either jump in the ring or you get under the wing. Great show.
Yeah, good looking out, post up. Salute, bro. Salute.
Then we got Max the Lazy Otaku, $2 super chat. Glad King brought up the C-bomb, fattest L on Sony. Jesus.
Yo, it's crazy right now. they got time limits on everything. They got time limits on their controllers. Time limits on the console.
Everything got Motivate said you could replace it, King.
You can replace it.
Here comes the reasonable lords.
And then Delilah said right under him, but you have to void your warranty.
Yes,
there you go.
replace
But at that
it.
point, like by the time that ends, like your warranty's gonna be up anyways.
Not if it's accelerated. Not if it gets
my
if it gets too hot in that box, it might get accelerated.
That half-life is cut in half.
Yeah,
So,
you know.
Do we catch up on the rest?
Yeah, CMOS don't.
we just got one more coming in right now. We got Brett Bingham, $5 super chat. Lords, what game franchise or franchises would you like to see revived that have a few Area 51, NBA Ballers, Midnight Club? Midnight Club.
I'm gonna say Midnight Club because I don't care about any of that.
I like Power Stone. I want Power Stone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, that was his suggestions.
Yeah, I want Power.
I don't know what I would like to see. Like it's kind of crazy. Like part of me kind of wants to see them bring back the Chrono Trigger in that franchise, but like the other part of me is just like I just want them to make other stuff. Like
after Streets of Rage, I want Golden Axe.
Oh, wow, that would be fantastic.
I want Golden Axe. I want these games to be like the graphics now and the animations that we have now. I'm really just went back to play Streets of Rage because of this DLC.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They doing Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on, let's go. Let's bring them back.
We caught up, Sal?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so pretty much since we stayed on the Sony topic, the other part of it, I believe, to King's topic was also the April update. So it looks like they had an April update. Sony now has the USB storage option available. I believe it's 250 gig minimum with an 8 terabyte capacity, and basically they says that I think two USB storage can't be connected at the same time, but basically kind of like what the Xbox Series X has, which is now you have that option to add a caddy. But to King's news, which I know he can't wait to talk about, is as of right now there's still no the SSD option, the M2 option.
That's closed.
That slot is that slide is closed. That slide is not available. Yeah, they said it will be in a future update. They're gonna talk.
Yeah, they'll let you know later.
So, King, clearly you want to talk about this. So, what do you feel about the storage being closed, sir?
You guys in the beginning thought y'all was lit. Y'all thought y'all had the fastest SSD. And we're going to have storage options. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're allowing us to purchase because Microsoft told you got proprietary and it's $200 and some dollars and it costs so much.
You gotta say, like Calvin.
Yo, they have no solution. Yo, they literally lock them out. And if you play with it, if you put something inside of it, your system don't work, don't shut on. That is, y'all been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. And right now, all this stuff is coming to pass. Y'all just got an update that allowed you to play with an SSD, a regular hard drive.
Oh my God.
Yo, they said, okay, I suffered long enough. Here goes a regular hard drive.
They gave it the basic shit. King been waiting for it. He been sitting on this, bro.
I've been waiting for the day for y'all to get the update, and it came, but it wasn't the update you was looking for.
Oh my God.
Yo, y'all can't, the L's that y'all are getting is so hilarious. No wonder y'all not on my timeline. This is the best. I just wanted to ask the realm. Are y'all ready to put your hard drive together? And you can't put two together. Because it can't, no. If you put two, it might blow up.
I mean, that part is kind of funny. It kicked in. I was surprised by that part.
When I have my console on, on rest mode, right? So the update got pushed to the console automatically. Yeah. But then it turned my console off. It didn't go back into rest mode. So I turned the console on. I'm like, oh, no.
Dog just tweeted something.
What's up with
that? Xbox Sunday. I don't know if he's meaning like Sunday for their conference or he's talking about next Sunday.
We'll
figure it out. So I turned my console on, right? And I thought it was doing the repair thing. I was like, oh no.
The
database. And it wasn't doing that, but it was like a hard restart. I'm like, why are you not just taking me back to where I was? And I had to go through that initial setup again. I'm like, what kind of update is this? It's just, I don't know, man. It just nothing feels smooth on their back end. Pause.
Right. They back end rough. They back end rough.
Yo, I got to say,
they got a rough back second.
That was too funny. Tom, we gotta move. Boy. Yeah, doing the most. Continue.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I was scared to death because I've been my console's been good. And I thought for a minute it was a wrap right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
don't know how to
You're a PlayStation 5 owner. Will you be utilizing the USB caddy storage now?
No.
He's like, no.
He said he just got it for Dark Souls.
Pretty much at this current. Oh, and by the way, I will be live streaming Dark Souls tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Those joints.
It'll be on this channel, so you can come there and complain that I don't like. And look, let me rant for 15 seconds.
Lord.
Why is people telling me that? Well, I'm like, okay, man. I was like, I want to be fast. And they're like, so I picked this character, and then I start taking some clothes off.
That was funny.
Because I'm like, look, I'd rather be naked on Demon Souls than rolling around like I weigh 800 pounds.
Right.
But you not about that. You're not
It
about
was
having
hilarious
armor.
'cause he took the helmet off first, right? So he takes the helmet off. And he goes, "That's not enough." So he's out there, nipples out, right? So he takes the armor off and he's rolling around. He says, "Yeah, I'm faster."
No, you got to be real, King. I was doing better with clothes off than I was.
You was. I'm
Were
not
you
gonna
still
lie.
playing with a dagger, or did you change up to?
No.
Yeah, I messed up that a couple times.
Let me backtrack. So now that what about the SSD solution? Like, is it a situation where you're frustrated that you won't be able to get that just now, or is it something that when it's activated, would you even be interested in based on how big these games are?
No, like, to be honest with you guys, normally I only have like 5 or 6 games like I play. I usually have Apex Legends downloaded, but as far as like games I play, it's very few, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And when I want to delete something, it's very apparent. Well, I ain't played this damn game in 6 months, so I just delete it. Like,
I got you.
Like, I've never been the kind of person like Lord Cog loves he loves the quick resume on Xbox. And it's cool, but it's like, to me, it's just like, I'm going to quick resume from the only game I'm playing to the only game I'm playing.
Yeah.
No, I feel it's not just style of joint. No, I feel I'll jump in. I'll make it quick. Yeah, look, to King's point, yes, we were hoping that we would have an answer by now. So I know King's clowning, but there's truth to it. At the end of the day, it's nice that we got the caddy old school option finally, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think my frustration, King, is just that, at least give us what the minimum spec is going to be. So for this NVMe that's going to be compatible with PlayStation
It's
5.
closed off because it overheats. And this is back to that variable juggling console that I was talking about earlier. It overheats, right? This is the console's been out long enough.
Right.
You not to have a storage solution that you already have the slot for that's there. Right. It's not like Nintendo where you saw at the base of the docking and you saw that thing in the back and you didn't know exactly what that was, and we were assuming it was an expansion bay for something. Right. No, this is an actual storage spot, and they told you the SSD solution can go there, so you can actually purchase like a Samsung SSD that can actually fit in there. But the questions is, why haven't they allowed it to be available? Why aren't they answering the people's questions? This latest update told you that there was a minimum spec for it and a maximum spec for it, and then you weren't able to double up on your hard drive. It's just certain things about this console. It seems like it's half-baked.
Yeah, we laughed at the price of the Xbox expansion, but I mean, it's helped so many people. Like,
and it is the going rate when it comes to NVMe tech.
Yeah.
Like we I know a lot of people like it's way overpriced, and trust me, I was the one that had to bend the knee, and I didn't want to buy it. But at the end of the day, when you look at like I bought an NVMe for my rig, like that is comparable. What's King laughing at?
I'm laughing at Attic.
Okay, what he doing? What is he doing? Yeah. Oh, he wants to jump in. Oh, look at Attic not interrupting. Go ahead, Attic.
Well, I do get annoyed when we get new consoles and it's a downgrade from the old consoles, like in any way, like software wise. Like I remember when the Xbox One came out.
Oh
like,
my god,
it was literally a shell compared to the Xbox 360. Like literally a shell. Like it was so bad when the Xbox One originally came out. It didn't even tell you when your friends were online.
Yeah,
it's just like you have to look that up.
They
on
always
your own.
do that. It's sometimes it's like it's changed for the sake of change. Like the UI stuff on the PlayStation.
And That's why you'll never hear me saying, "Oh, we need a new UI for everything."
Right.
If the UI is fine, it's fine. You don't need to keep making new stuff just because it's a new console.
No, I agree. I mean,
and I feel like one of the reasons that Xbox has had less hiccups when it comes to software is because they've been evolving their UI to take it to next gen, and not just like, bam, there's the UI. 6 months later, make slight adjustments. Bam, there's the UI. And then like 8 years later, we're going to make a new UI.
No, I feel you guys. So you were going to say something. I'll finish off.
Oh, no. For me, as PlayStation being, that box is for their exclusives. And the fact that my internal hard drive is full already, with not that many games out, it is very telling. So I don't really care for this USB solution. Yeah, cool. I could download PS5 games and transport them back and forth. Right. But I want that internal solution.
And the thing, Soft, too, is we're not even thinking about. I mean, none of us, I don't believe here, are PS5 digital owners, right?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you're a PS5 digital.
I got two games. So
like that's the thing. It's just like at the end of the day, like these games, these 4K assets, these are huge games. You can fill up in about 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know what I mean? Like you can fill up very quickly.
And I'm always afraid, again, especially at the start of a generation, I'm afraid to attach external, just normal external sort of storage to this, because you just never know how it's going to react with the system. Right. A system update could come and fix some things and then break other things.
Right.
So I want their solution, whatever their solution
is. Yeah.
I don't think they figured it out.
They haven't. No,
I honestly don't think they have either. And if not necessarily haven't figured it out, they're not like, I feel like they released the PS5, but it was still like software was still being developed for it. And I feel like they're still doing it.
Coming in hot. That's what we say.
Coming in very hot.
It's not that I think the console was functional enough to put it out, but when it comes to certain things, you're like, yo, that's on the back end.
Right.
We're gonna get to it, but we ain't got to it yet. Like,
it is interesting, and I would have to agree in the sense of getting these systems out and then, not having the necessary plan ready to go. Again, just not knowing what the spec is. I just want to know what the SSD spec, so I could look in that range. So when I'm ready, I'm like, okay, this is the spec that is compatible with the
the funny thing is, just knowing them, it'll be some $500 thing. It'll be the price of the console.
You know what's crazy too?
That'll cripple them and kill them.
Is the fact that I'm no engineer to no degree at all. Yeah. But it's like how is it my tablet can have external support, but a PS5 can't? Yeah, when that first launched, you couldn't even hook up an external hard drive to it. Am I remember correctly?
Until, what was it? Thursday they just did it?
but my point is how do you drop the ball that much? Like, how do you drop the ball where you can't even do something that hardware's been doing for years?
Well, that's when you take for granted your populace, your fan base, and you feel that they're going to take whatever you give them. When you can say to them, yeah, we're going to give you a controller that's going to die in 400 hours, and you got a console with CMOS that's going to blow up on you later on, that you ain't going to be able to access anything, digital or physical.
And this is the stuff we were worrying about, right? With all this hot new stuff that, the first week of the PlayStation's release, so, the press that had it early, we're talking about the next gen features.
Blowing into the controller.
And the thing is, look, I heard now that, MLB The Show doesn't have a lot of sort of a controller functionality on the PlayStation.
It's not utilizing DualSense?
Nah, not really. I'm hearing it's not really utilized.
You can't blow into the controller and make the ball fly?
I guess not.
Look, to be honest with you guys, though, like, I see the potential of the controller. I really enjoyed playing Astro Bot.
That DualSense
It was a very unique scenario, but at the same time, it's like, I know that Astrobot's devs are the only people doing this.
But that's how Sony has always done. Remember that what was that Hawk game, Firehawk or something like that, Skyhawk,
Warhawk.
Yes. And you was able to use the 6-axis.
Yeah, the 6-axis.
Remember Lair? Remember Lair?
You remember Lair? It was that. It was Lair, and it was Heavenly Blade, Heavenly Sword.
Yeah,
Heavenly Sword.
Yeah. You guide the arrow in.
Oh, that was the worst.
Where did you go? To the bushes. Why?
That was Ninja Theory, and I know they had to utilize the new tech, but that slowed that game down so much for me. The combat was great, but that
Yeah.
But that brought. This is what Sony does in every generation. They give you this hot tech. They be like, yo, they give you a way that I can see the world happening with this.
But I mean, at the end of the day, we can make fun of certain scenarios, but like at the end, does it matter? Like when that God of War 2 drops,
people go,
drop. It's not gonna matter when Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
That day and age of that is over, Addict.
No, it's not. Just
because
PlayStation's not dropping hits, it doesn't matter.
You know what I say?
Just
it's
because
over.
PlayStation's not dropping hits right now doesn't mean that's over.
I'm gonna tell you this is why it's over. One and done days is done, son. Like
one and done days.
Yo, you can keep saying, yo, when they drop this, son. When my cousin come through, if you can keep saying it, and then when he come through, it's like, all right, he came. Remember that? All right,
but to Addict's point, the thing is discount the impact when the cousin come through.
You'll be like, if the cousin comes through, it all right. Once the cousin come to bail you out of jail, he don't come through, you ain't getting out of jail.
How many times he gonna bail me out though? This is the question. Like, how many times do I gotta get in trouble for him to come bail me out?
Will bail out, and that will relieve.
But that's every 2 to 3. I can't be waiting 2 to 3 years to get bailed out of jail.
It'd be like every 2 to 3 years, every 2 days.
Nah, they have a cadence of 24 months banger, 24 months banger,
24 months
inspiration. We give you 2.
But the thing is, King, like, just because I will agree with you, it's been a while since we had like a huge banger. You know what I'm saying? But because Last of Us was last year,
Horizon with no
Ratchet & Clank is this year.
Gonna hit different.
Like, you can't act like besides that year Days Gone came out, they've always had a banger every year.
Yeah.
Word. What about that Abe's though? I ain't like that.
That wasn't
it's stupid.
Dano said it's the cousin Jim Ryan.
Look,
we talked about it. We talked about it last night on the Shop podcast. And the thing about it is that this is the first time that you really see where the dude basically that's in third place has changed the narrative around all of gaming.
Right.
In a way that now they can't ignore, right? When Game Pass first came out, we wondered if Sony could just get by on being Sony and not worry about what Game Pass is doing. In the beginning, sure. Right. Now,
no, the battlefield has changed. They just changed.
You know the moment it changed? When Outriders came out on day one. You know another moment it changed? When MLB came out was like, it's yo girl, but she coming home with me. So, you know.
I had to drop an F-bomb last night for that MLB The Show. Like,
that game looks so good.
King Cap, look at King
Bro.
Cap.
No.
I saw Hip Hop Gamer. Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer playing it on a PS5. It looks so good. And I was like, all I could say while I was watching it, yo, that looks so good. It's going to look so much better on Xbox Series.
Yo, Cog, I'm going to tell you, when it comes to like the animations, listen, sometimes when you swing it and you make contact with a baseball, you would see like an extra animation because it wasn't smooth. The contact wasn't smooth. Now the contact is smooth, and when you look at the replay, you see the batter's eye looking exactly to where the contact is made. Like, King, you don't understand how
the nuance
for years
they would do that. Yeah.
King, right now, after we finish It Takes Two, let's do one game of MLB.
Start streaming that.
It comes out Tuesday for y'all.
Tuesday for us. That's Game Pass.
Yeah. I'm gonna start streaming that on God and them.
So you mean it's out now for the tryhards like Solve? It comes out Tuesday.
Listen, not the fans. People who buy their games.
So the tryhards.
Solve, are you implying we're not real gamers?
All of you frauds, including Cognito.
Listen, you know what it is. Phil Dominus Maximus and really expensive did this for me.
He did that for me too.
You know, he did that for me. He told me, King,
he said,
you ain't gotta spend $79.
I gotta spend. He said we good. So I said, you know what? I'm waiting till Tuesday.
I was gonna wait till Tuesday, but the thing is that I won't be able to play the Saturday. So I'm like,
you did.
I can't lie on Solve though. Like, if they started doing that with all their first party stuff, where you get access to it like 4 or 5 days early, and that Halo Infinite comes out, you think I'm waiting 4 days?
I'm pocket watching. I'll wait.
No, I ain't waiting.
I'm with Addict. I'm probably not waiting for Halo.
Like, I'll wait.
I ain't paying for that. I got a service. I got this service that King like.
No, listen. I'm keeping it 100% funky.
Let's go.
Avowed come out that's getting picked up.
Let's go.
But I can't. I ain't waiting for everything.
King, you waiting or you day what? What you doing?
No, I'm waiting, man.
That's what I'm talking about, my
Listen, I did that with Gears of War. I'll buy it later. Yeah. But listen, they did this for me, man.
Let me hit Cog with this. That Destiny 3 comes out and it's on Game Pass day one. You waiting?
Yeah, they give you 5 days early access.
I don't care.
You waiting, Cog? Are you waiting?
I'm waiting.
Why you had to go there though?
I'm
waiting. No, he frauded right now. Where's that fraud alert?
I put fraud alert on myself.
Here you go. I give it to him. I give it to him.
That's I go front, but you talking $70, bro? Like,
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I don't respect the $70 though.
Or fraud.
All right. I might be frauded that one because I might get weak. I might get weak.
No, you know what it is? If they brought out a new Evander Holyfield box,
you never know.
We all got that fraud alert on us because it's a game that we will break street date.
Bro, you gotta
if they tell me tomorrow, because you know Holyfield fighting Kevin McBride, right? So,
no.
Yes. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now. Trill is bugging. Triller is taking old dudes and putting them to fight. But
it sound like Rick Ross's league.
Yeah, I don't. It's Snoop Dogg's league. It's actually crazy. But I don't care what nobody say. If they told me Evander Holyfield right now got the new Evander Holyfield box and it's in Game Pass for $70 earlier,
Addict got me. Addict, listen.
I'm gonna have to go do
it. New fight night. EA new fight night. Greatest heavyweights. They bring it back.
Oh man.
When it's a game I want, I ain't waiting. I'm paying.
Yeah, you're right. When it's a game we want, we ain't waiting.
When it comes to Destiny, if Avowed was like, yo, you can get it 4 days early if you buy the Ultimate Edition, I'm reaching into my pocket.
You have no idea the smile on my face when I threw that on and it said PlayStation Studio.
Xbox controller.
Yo, I still couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
Got him.
Yo, let's get back focused.
You said this dude King's a prophet.
We gotta be messy. You
said this dude King's a prophet because he said he gonna be there and he beat
PlayStation. I know it looked funny. Let's get the super chats and get the last topic, man.
Let's go.
Hold on a second. What's funny in the transfer? I had to go back. Hold on, give me a second. Keep talking.
All right, we got a lot of stuff.
It's absolutely hilarious.
We all got those. Yeah, we all got those.
Nah, but this MLB though.
Yeah.
It's it hit different when those dudes don't have the free solution.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. That's just it. They don't have that, and they, the refusal to do that. We still don't know if they knew it. It's like we can't.
MLB said we
no, I'm saying on their end.
On their end,
right. Nah, they did that with that Destruction Derby All-Star crap that they put out there. They threw it on their joint, and they did that with the Abe Odyssey on the PlayStation Now. So at no point in time you can't tell me that you can't put your joint down.
I just think to save face, you needed to do it. To save
face, but you gonna walk away from a bag?
But that doesn't stop you from buying though. But they realize that they fan base don't buy.
Because it just pushes you to Xbox.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't got it, you get it.
All right, we're good. We got Flame $2 super chat. You can replace it, but it's hidden under 300 parts of the PlayStation 5.
That's right.
Then we have Max the Lazy Otaku, $5 super chat. Jim Ryan, don't touch it, don't look at it, don't even think about it. Sony user number 453474. What if I just the PlayStation 5 dead?
Yo, Lazy Otaku be in his bag.
That was funny.
Don't touch that sticker. Don't touch that sticker because you know it's coming.
Yeah, avoid that word. You don't do it.
Then we got JD Gamer, $5 super chat. I want a proper Panzer Dragoon Saga remake. Who's with me? I'm right there with you, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
This game has been lost to history, and I want a Phantasy Star RPG remake. Yeah, I mean Phantasy Star Online.
I want an RPG,
but an RPG.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, not that stuff they doing now. We can stop that.
No doubt. Shout out to the Shop Podcast. Fuzzy Belvedere in the building. $5 super chat. I'll purchase more games on PlayStation 5 when they open up the SSD slot. I need space. Time to bury this thing.
My God. How you burying PlayStation?
Put it in the dirt.
Then we got Max once again, the Lazy Otaku, $5 super chat. The PC Xbox players looking at Sony like, I thought this was the best place to play. Why y'all got so many issues? T-Sip.
He's like a king to fight.
Finger.
Lazy Otaku, messy.
Then we got Stitch with the $5 super chat. As much as I bash on the Switch, at least it has expandable storage, and the PlayStation 5 can even use a single USB drive.
Salute for Stitch.
Hold on. I think eyes gave out. Here we go.
No, I got you. I get Dover Keen 89 with the $5 super chat. What's funny is that the transfer speed between internal and external on the X and the S is twice faster than PS5. I don't know. That's information I'm not privy to.
Then we got Mariano Pompa, $10 super chat. Salute, Lords. Awesome show today. Again, thank you to Lord Nitai and Lady Megan. Keep up the amazing work, Lords. Much success your way. Thank you. Yeah, they were fantastic.
They were amazing.
Then we got Warlord, $10 super chat. Great conversation. Obsidian's future is bright. Wish we got a New Vegas 2. Question joke. Question joke. Yeah, we didn't go to New Vegas 2, but you know. Yeah, lots of other products are going to be talking about this in this interview. Get the likes up. No doubt. Yeah. Man, they really are kind of like the GOAT.
I really like the fact that they just had to make it clear that there's no evil oversight bothering them.
Yeah, I love that.
They're doing what they want to do.
Facts.
Fuzzy once again.
I like the confidence that they had. They're like, look, like, you know, Megan was like, look, you know, I'm sure everyone does things differently. She's like, but I've been to a lot of different developers, and I just personally feel like the way they do narrative is better than most people.
Yeah, they did it like they were humbly
flexing that other teams come to us for narrative.
But I'm not gonna lie though, their dialogue tree is the best. It's like you don't get like two lines of dialogue and then you're on to the next thing.
And the way it's really acted out, that's the thing. When Cog mentioned Mass Effect is the closest proximity to that. And if you go back to Mass Effect, it feels very stiff and still
very simple compared to what? Yeah,
very simple. But yo, I can't wait to see what Avowed looks like in terms of.
Don't they got another DLC for?
Did you guys see
no, you mean for Outer Worlds?
Yeah.
Gorgon,
no.
First
Gorgon and America, that concludes the private division deal. Now everything now is Xbox Game Studios.
Because I didn't want to.
I'm sure they're all working on it.
I didn't want to touch on the fact that it didn't have any Series X or Series S.
Enhancements. Remember that was in the private division. They gave us the 60 frames and the auto HDR, but that was about it. With that.
Did you guys notice that they were referring to a game that felt like it was unannounced?
Yes.
Like,
yes. They said the other project.
The other project.
You would have said Avowed, right?
Yeah, Avowed's out. There's another project.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuzzy once again, $5 super chat. The solution is to put the PlayStation 5 in the Series X mini fridge.
Yo, I swear, but it can't fit. It can't fit in the mini fridge because it's bigger than the mini fridge.
You gotta put it diagonally like this.
Like, you gotta like slide it in and grease the sides.
I'm done. Let me get my homie. This is the midway monster, my man. Shout out, what up? $5 super chat. 357 gigabytes is definitely not enough space on the Series S, but at least Xbox has the storage expansion ready day one.
See, the thing is with that, if you get the storage expansion for the S, again, people get the S for different reasons, but at that point, you probably get the X, right? If you can get your hands on it.
Yeah, but if you have the external hooked up from day one, you were Gucci.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, the moment they have some sort of attachable screen for that S,
to take it.
You already know their dudes already made that.
They have. I was looking up the dudes that made the ones for the Xbox One and the X. It doesn't quite fit, so they're working on that.
Oh, okay.
No doubt.
Then we have Dan Lazaro, $5 super chat. I find ILP and try to watch other gaming pods, and I can't. You guys got the right energy. All these other pods make me best Xbox pod on YouTube. We're not an Xbox pod.
King says we're an Xbox.
No. Listen, y'all guys got to stop saying that we're an Xbox podcast. Just because I have a large personality.
At this point, there's nothing you
can
say.
Listen,
they don't believe us.
All the way Switch. Sovereign is PlayStation, even though he's playing MOB on the Xbox. Got him.
That was a shot. You want to get Sage? Out of jail, Sage?
Out of jail, Sage. $5 super chat. Gonna be honest, PlayStation 5 feels a little like a scheme from a shady few. I feel like I can't trust it. Like I can't risk my investment with them.
Yeah, it's true.
Then we got to put the crest in the chat for Dan Lazaro, the newest member of the realm. Thank you, brother.
like
Oh, actually, Attic, I completely forgot. Who was the individual that joined the realm at the start of the podcast that we didn't read them off?
I don't know. I forgot that a long time.
I remember Hollow.
The moment he said the name, I already forgot.
All right, Lord Hollow, welcome to the realm.
Yes.
Thank you. We apologize that we lost
Well,
that.
to be fair, Hollow, it didn't show up in our chat for some reason.
Yeah,
Like,
I luckily I had seen it, and I was just I kept it. It was still on my screen.
Put the crest in the chat for Hollow
Put those
as well.
crests in there.
Yes.
Then we got Sage once again, $5 super chat. I'm waiting to play the show on Game Pass just out of petty spite.
That's right.
I want them to
right.
know I didn't spend anything for it, and I'll play on Android too.
Don't worry, videos inbound.
Oh, Christopher Hart super chat. You got to read that, King.
That's
You got
Christopher
to-
Hart.
Yeah. Super chat.
I don't think
Hart
he's
put
next.
money in there.
He's not next though. He's not next.
Yeah, he's not next.
not
So
next.
get ready because you got to read it, King. Like,
Okay, where's Christopher Hart? Let me find it.
Okay,
not there.
I got it. I'll get to it. I got you. Sage $5 super chat. 93 gigabyte Gears 5 transfer from Series X internal. The Seagate expansion card is under 2 minutes.
Yes.
Test it yourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Christopher Hart.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's best to download and then transfer between. Yeah, I agree, Sage.
All right, respect to the Iron Lords. Go watch the show The Godfather of Harlem on the 25th next Sunday. My nephew Joshua has a recurring role in the show. Definitely.
Nice.
We got you, Hurt. We got you.
So why did I have to read that?
No, because everybody thought assumed he's gonna say some PlayStation.
No, he's not
slander.
coming for me. He's not coming
I
for
didn't,
me.
to be honest with you, I'm gonna be 100 with you.
Ls.
I didn't even read it. I just assumed it was
Yeah,
smoke.
PlayStation got too many else. He lumped up over there in the corner. He good though.
He good.
That's what's up, though. I was watching a little bit of that yesterday. That's
I got you.
Bumpy Johnson story.
Bumpy Johnson in the
yeah. My great grandfather. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm on that, Christopher. No doubt. What else we got?
Then we got Gamers Play. Hold up. I got jumped. Damn. Hold on a second.
Hot Zero. I got it. $5 super chat. Hope to collab with the Lords in the near future. Gamers Play will return. Hashtag Game On. That's right. You make content. Be consistent. Exactly. It's only a matter of time for you being
got a $2 super from
I got it. Malik Tyler, $2 super chat. Get rid of Jim Ryan.
They on him.
He's not going nowhere. He's doing a wonderful job. I actually think he was the best man for the job.
God.
Thank you so much for hiring him, Sony. He in the front of the Titanic with his arm up.
Yo, you stupid. You're stupid.
To the bottom, baby.
Then let's put the crest in the chat for the newest members of the realm. Sunjitsu Sage, thank you, my brother.
Let me get my. I think it's a code giveaway time.
Bernard Miller as well. Put the crest in the chat for the two newest members of the realm. Thank you so much.
We got some stuff that's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
We're about to do some giveaways and some stuff like that. You know, we talking in the background. Also, I got to get ready to put up a new video because I'm going to start asking for animators, artists. We're getting ready to take this thing to the next level. We're going to bust the roof off this joint. So I'm getting ready to hit you guys up. And remember the last time I told you guys to get at us because I needed a rap artist and nobody got at me. Shout out to Dallas for knocking it out the park, for giving us one of the hottest intros that we've had. And I told you guys, this time, don't sit on your hands. I don't want nobody scared. Hit me up. We're gonna when the video goes out, then you'll get at me. But let's go, guys.
We no doubt, because it's gonna be a different vibe.
Oh my God!
Hey, ready? Guys, got something we're gonna give away?
Oh, I put a code in there, but this next one's going just to the members. So I'm gonna have to come up with a question because people be snatching that real fast.
People be on the trigger. They be ready. Guys,
then we got Michael, aka Best Size Finest, $10 super chat. Well, I'm not surprised that PlayStation 5 is failing. Good for them. Good for my God. Yes, RIP. The PS5 is done. Van Moose gotta go. Van Moose. Xbox is life, and yes, Lords, God bless. Say less. Oh hell. Phil Spencer, I'm done. He called him Phil Spencer.
He in his bag hard.
Wow. That was a whole lot of words.
I got one. I'm definitely gonna butcher his name. What was his name? I don't want to butcher it. The writer that we just had on.
Oh, Nitai Poddar.
Yeah, Nitai Poddar. Okay, he said he wrote a specific character, a companion. What was that companion?
Good question.
Oh,
Good question.
y'all
Good
guys
question.
gotta.
Put it in
You
there.
messed up.
Were you guys
Were
listening?
you listening or were you console fighting?
Listen,
What were you doing?
Listen, did you just show up? Oh,
Yep, this is for the people who actually was learning. I don't see no names in there. What's going on? Y'all
I
was
hit y'all
snoring.
in the head. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
Flame got it.
Flame got
Wow.
it? Okay.
Flame
all right.
was on
No,
deck.
Flame was
Yeah.
on it. You know how I know Flame was on? Flame was on it. Shout out to Flame because he was on it since I posted
Hit me up
that
on Twitter,
Obsidian was
Flame.
going to be on a day ago. So
Yeah.
Flame been on. He's like, oh, Obsidian. So he in his best. Salute to Flame. He deserved that. He deserves
No
it.
doubt,
That's what's
no
up. Let's
doubt.
get to some chat.
Fantastic. Then we got Max Delazio Otaku, $5 super chat. Finding any outweighing
Someone said
reasons to
little
have
man.
a
What? Somebody said what?
Someone said little man.
Little man was a
little man.
Little man.
good. So I'm sorry.
Finding any outweighing reasons to have a PS5 is like solving a Danganronpa murder case. What happened and how do we attempt to solve it?
Messy. He's so messy.
Then we got Bernard Miller, $5 super chat. Found your podcast about 6 months ago. You guys have the best not an Xbox podcast around.
That was good.
Had to join the realm.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
That was good. That was good. He said we got the best. We're not an Xbox podcast.
He's calling our fraud.
He's calling fraudery. Okay. I like that. That was smart. I like that.
Then we have Tony Bryant, $5 super chat. Love ILP day 5 of my one-man campaign. It's gonna happen. Watching your guys' growth is amazing.
Yo, shout out to Tony. I think I know what you're talking about. You don't want to be putting up on Twitter. You want the homie, the wrestling dude. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. Salute.
No doubt. We're caught up, man. I haven't had a chance to say my favorite names today. Where are you guys?
Oh, yeah, right. Well, look, we got this last topic. Attic,
Massey Rick.
Topic. Yeah, we see him in there. So, Attic, what's going on, man? Square Enix, what's going on?
So there's, obviously there's a lot of rumors always going around. Microsoft's buying this, Microsoft's buying that. Now it looks like, okay, first off, Square Enix has come out and they've debunked this, but in our experience, that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even go look up Lord Hulk. He has a good video out on this.
Yes.
You can look up him. All that is PR speak. We ain't agreeing to anything. We ain't denying anything. So what I want to bring to the realm, what I want to talk about is Square Enix is up for sale, possibly, and I want to get who you think should own them and why you think should own them, and pretty much King, why should Xbox own Square?
Yeah,
what, King?
King's gonna answer.
Okay, so right now they're the king of the Western RPGs at this moment. When the RPGs start rolling in, we expect these RPGs to hit and resonate with the Western market. I think Square, when they acquired Enix, they were trying to get into the Western market, get into the European market. And I don't think it hit the way they wanted to, like with Tomb Raider and stuff like that. I think with Outriders, they finally got a foothold into Western gaming in a sense that they really have an identity. You don't look at it as a Square Enix game, to be honest with you. And then I think that was all due to launching day and date inside Game Pass. So we see where certain games can falter and where certain games can grow with the arm of Game Pass. And also, being that we just had Obsidian saying that Microsoft doesn't become the Borg, doesn't want you to assimilate to their way of thinking, wants the developer to grow in his own space and allows them the freedom to just giving them financial stability. I think that allows Square Enix to grow in spaces and take chances that we haven't seen them take.
And that just to interrupt you real quick, in their type of space, when it comes to the JRPGs, like doing Risk with those type of games is so risky, but it can pay off so much, and they're not able to do it as much because they're constantly, we gotta sell this game. We gotta sell it.
Financially, they would be under constraint. So I want them to have that financial freedom that Microsoft will give them. I don't feel that Sony would be able to afford that same luxury because financially they're cash strapped. So I think that will be going from the same level and not elevating your status. It's like going from one dude that's on welfare, you're on welfare, they on welfare, you're on welfare together, instead of going to a dude that actually is affluent and has wealth and can do something for you. So yeah, I would like them to pick the guy that can actually enhance their life and give them more of the same.
No doubt, no doubt. Lord Sav, man, what do you think about the rumors, all this stuff going on? And or is it conjecture? Like, where you at with this whole thing with Square? You're muted.
sorry, I'm muted. If the conversations are actually happening, they're not going to talk about it because they're a publicly traded company.
Yep.
They cannot, if they go out there and their stock prices go up or down based on what's speculated and talked about it makes them exactly. It's like you can't do that. You just can't do that. So they got to be quiet no matter what happens. If it is happening, I'm gonna be honest. I like them by themselves. I think they're eating right now. We talked about this before. How they have games that fit on the Sony side. They have games that fit on the Xbox side. They can eat from both sides. And if you even look at Octopath Traveler, which first came out on the Switch, they have something for the Switch too. So it's like, and you have a triangle strategy. So for me, they're eating on all ends. They don't need to worry about being purchased. I think they're good. If it does happen, obviously that relationship they already have with PlayStation for their biggest titles, that makes sense. But money talks. Who knows, man? Money does talk, and Xbox. I cannot say that this is not a good fit, because if they, once again, if they keep trying to get into that Japanese market, right, in a real way, and they just can't do it, Microsoft has shown that they're willing just to buy their way in.
I mean, look, we know that. I'll jump in. We know the bag. This is definitely in the realm of possibility. We not just because of the bag. Like we
never say never.
So I'm never gonna say never. I'm never gonna disrespect. You know what I'm saying? We know where the millions is at, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, I had this conversation with Attic, and we were just like, at some point, it's like Microsoft could buy everybody, so there has to be a limit at what they're going to do. You know what I mean? So my thing, it's more so. I think I shout to Colin, because Colin said this before when he was with us. Like, there comes a point where when you do all these buying, the special part about Bethesda is they were always ZeniMax, they were that self-contained publishing entity that can manage themselves. Microsoft doesn't have to be as much hands-on with them. The thing is, we got to look at what's on Matt Booty's plate, right? Because it's Matt Booty now, right? He's got to go to all the different studios and say, okay, what's going on, whatever. And at a certain number, there has to be a number where it's like, okay, this is getting unmanageable. We're going to have to hire more. Get at it.
I think that's why they're aiming for these big companies. They might have to pay a lot more money, but they have a self-sustainable engine that they don't have to really do anything.
So look, if Microsoft jumped in, this would be crazy. This would be a major blow, because we know that they are synonymous with Sony. Me personally, I'm with Solve. I think somebody, because the report wasn't even Bloomberg. The report was this CT whatever, and they're like investment bankers. And like, to me, this is someone trying to gauge where the price at. You know what I'm saying? So we know they more than Bethesda. So let's jump it up. And then to Solve's point, like what Hulk's saying, Square did not say anything. Addict's right. Square did not say anything in that statement that denied anything. They're just like, nobody made an offer. That does not mean no one ain't talked to you, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we got.
All they pretty much says, we ain't confirmed.
We didn't get an official offer.
We're not looking at the bag hasn't been delivered. It's on its way, but it's not here yet.
Shout out to the Lord of Legality. Hogue always breaks this stuff down. And he lived that statement that everybody's running with, that they denied, that means nothing. That is legal speak. They can still be flirting with whoever they want to flirt with.
That's right.
Until it offers on the table.
Somebody in them DMs. Phil and King of the slide in.
The way he rolled with MLB, no doubt. But
what's up?
Why the elbow gotta do this?
You gotta do it with one elbow. Slide in the DM
that's the Phil Dominus elbow.
How you doing?
Look, man. At the end of the day, I'm still with. Look, if it happens, I'll be shocked. But I'm with Solve. I think Square's in this unique position. They've got all these IPs, these juicy IPs that everybody want, and they can sit here and be like, well, you know, Sony, you know, Microsoft over there, they said we get this bag for if we put it in Game Pass. What you giving? What
Nothing.
You gonna
We
give us some
giving
time?
you
to
absolutely nothing.
But low key,
yeah.
I do have a couple thoughts on this.
Let's
I
go.
don't think that's going to be like forever. I think Sony's going to start paying extra money to lock stuff out of Game Pass.
Sony would be smart because
So I do think we're going a direction where they can no longer play both sides. Now they can play both sides with certain games,
right?
But Sony going to make sure if we helping you, you ain't helping them.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like they did that already. Because look, there's been you know
That's 2 years.
the 1 year exclusivity on Final Fantasy came and went, no comments on anything.
Right.
So we don't know how much Sony paid to keep it off of Xbox for as long as possible.
They could have extended it, right? Those are the deals behind the thing.
But I mean, that would have to be talked about though. Like that. This I heard that already.
With
I heard that. I heard it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have to be like the re-up will have to be like, you know, they re-up the extension of it.
Right.
Honestly, I think the game is coming. I just think they're just waiting. And like I said this on Boom on Friday. Because Boom thought it was Dame Day.
Shout out to Boom.
The day is out. The day is in.
It's coming. It's coming today.
So I'm like, nah, that's not how it worked like that. And I didn't want to, you know, just let them know that. But it's just MLB The Show. This is huge. Let's not just get past Tuesday.
Oh no.
Tuesday this is a record. They popping bottles, bro. Like bottles is, if you don't think bottles was popped or being popped on Tuesday, bottles will be popped, and they will gauge this whole week. Let this soak in. Let all that get into you. I'll pause. Let you feel this. Pause again. And then the following week you will have more news. But this is a big, good gaming news. So I don't think that Final Fantasy there's no need for you to steal your own thunder.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, right now. You steal your own thunder when it died down for the week, and then the following week you be like, and Final Fantasy is coming because we didn't get what's coming out for Game Pass for the other half of this month. You know,
something as serious as Final Fantasy, that's not just throwing it on Twitter.
Thank you.
They're gonna want to save that for an event or something like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to Square Enix, I don't think they're buying them, but I do think they've tried to, or at least
I don't think they tried yet.
Kind of conversation. But I do think that, you know, if there was a company to cripple Sony, it would be Square Enix.
Right. But sorry.
And I think getting Square Enix is definitely one of those scenarios where, regardless what anyone thinks, that is really hurting Sony, because one of the things that Sony is doing to combat Game Pass and to combat all these studios that are like, we're just going to double down on timed exclusives. We're going to try to buy as many second, third party deals that we possibly can. And the biggest person they're doing that with is who? Square Enix.
You know,
so if they took that piece off the board, I honestly don't feel like Sony could recover from that.
Let me ask you this. My thing is, though, why do you have to necessarily take it off the board when you could just keep their IPs a Game Pass and just kind of fight that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, you don't necessarily got to buy the whole building in this case.
Yeah, you didn't necessarily have to buy all of Bethesda, but they wanted all that stuff.
No, for sure. But it goes back to what Cox said about what Colin said. Colin said specifically, he was like, yo, the reason I think they should sell all those Xbox IP on PlayStation now is because you make the argument, look, yeah, it's on PlayStation, but it's gonna cost you $70.
MLB argument, right?
Exactly.
That's weird. That's weird. Like King is saying, they already dropping a bombshell.
They want they want them in their ecosystem. They want paying the $15. It's like we said multiple times with the Bethesda things. Getting them over there, paying that $170. And let's be real here. It's not like, you know, besides the Fallouts, Bethesda games were selling millions upon millions upon millions of stuff. So it's better to have them like kind of directing them towards PC and towards Xbox. That's like, look, like we don't want just the one sell. Let's be real here. A lot of people probably only bought one Bethesda game.
You're talking the long money. I get that. I guess.
Well, I say this for the Square Enix thing. All right. First of all, they're a publisher. All right. So we established that they're no longer like looking for little indies because, like you said, Matt Booty has a ton on his plate right now with running these studios. So now, when you're buying a publisher that can actually run the show, run themselves, and then with little to not so much oversight, you go over there, check their stuff out, you know, reports and stuff coming back. It won't hurt Sony in the short run. All right, because they do have games coming from Square Enix that is going to be launching soon and in the next 2-year future.
Yeah,
right. So at no point in time would it hurt them, and Microsoft would not void or cancel any of those.
And you know what would be crazy, King? I know this is completely out of the realm. If they haven't came up with a deal for the remake 2 because it's not been formally announced, and Microsoft buys that and they lock that off of PlayStation.
I don't think that would happen. I think there's a deal in place. Yeah. But I do say this, right? When it comes to Square Enix, and I do believe because it's publicly traded.
Right. Yes, that's what.
Okay. This is the hugest problem with a publicly traded company. Microsoft can go in and hostile takeover by purchasing the majority of shares. Right. They don't really have to sit there and talk to Square about anything. They can go to shareholders, purchase their shares. Have a majority stake in the company. It's really messy when you do that.
Here's the thing,
because then you don't get the respect from them. Like they want the
well,
respect.
you mine. You mine, and you gonna respect me. You gonna get in on it later.
I mean,
I came to your DMs, and I came.
Why they gotta be all aggressive? Why you gotta be extra aggressive?
But this is King is not wrong. They probably only need a handful of people that own that much stock. But at the end of the day, when you do stuff like that, you want them to work for you. So if you hostile takeover,
King, you gotta get your first of all, Michael gets off.
He got them like the odd world inhabitants, slaving them out,
like indentured servitude. Like
you gonna work whether you like it or not. Like listen, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Oh my god.
I like you and I want you.
I personally feel like I don't know exactly. My personal thoughts is I don't want them to buy Square because I know that's going to be a very expensive purchase.
I don't care.
And me, I don't want them putting up. I would rather them invest into smaller stuff so there's more room to build.
Right. Oh, okay.
I feel like if they buy something like Sega, which I feel is like more in the realm of reality than something. Square Enix, there's more money to play around with going on forward.
All right, they just
if they're buying Square, that's going to be 10 billion plus.
They just spend 20 billion buying a voice.
Voice.
Okay, 20 billion. Microsoft just spent 20 billion.
I get it. They put out 20 billion.
We know the money ain't an issue.
But sooner or later, they're going to be okay. Let's
issue.
Start turning this down.
The issue comes down with this. King's aggressive approach is that
I try to be nice.
You're strong on
I send you flowers. I tried to be nice. Now I gotta buy the company that you work for. I gotta buy the building that you live in. You gonna see me. We going date.
Don Corleone.
You cannot strong arm this situation.
Don't get this marriage on.
The whole thing is Microsoft has worked so hard to get their public relations up that they are not.
That would destroy the Japanese.
That would destroy.
That would destroy. There would
be
no
that going on. You don't want people working under those type of conditions. And then ultimately, but the thing that no one else is talking about is that Square, they're not like Sega all the way in a sense, but they like do manga and figures and toys.
Yeah.
Like, that part of their business is not interested. Microsoft's not interested. That's why the Sega thing makes sense because Sega's getting rid of all that extra stuff that Microsoft. So when you got an entity that has all these different components, Square's just more than just games for them.
Yeah,
so,
a whole bunch of stuff.
Right. So if Microsoft does the hostile joint, then it comes. All right, you gonna start laying people off because we don't need your manga division. We don't need your whatever division.
And
public relations, that does not look good for the.
But King, like at the end of the day. Phil Spencer has fought so hard to gain a little bit of respect over there. Yeah. And if you go over there and be like, Square's ours. It's all done.
No. Yeah, that was like that's like when they tried to buy Nintendo.
We literally just had Obsidian on, and Obsidian said one of the great things that they're doing is letting us be us. There's no board. And here comes King with the hostile.
Listen, that was all 100% jokes.
I know. Real quick about your statement though, like. If they did something like that, you would have all the like From Software company they've been working with, like, that's some dirty stuff. We're never working with you again.
Right. We don't know that. We don't know. See, money's a different thing when you're hungry. Like when you hungry and somebody you I don't respect you.
Corporate
That
king.
burger look good. Thank you.
Corporate king with the millions talk.
Nah,
Like, you can
I
sit there and
think
say whatever you want to say. People
At the
gotta
end of
put
the day,
food
King,
and stuff. Nah.
I think
I do
think
feel-
they're gonna keep honing themselves out. That's what
I
they're
do.
gonna be.
I do
That's-
feel like that Japanese culture. It's really different.
Yes,
like
yeah.
they if they see something like that, like that's why the Japanese government always be buying stock in their companies to make sure stuff stays with them.
Yeah.
It's just like if you go that far, like you might as well kiss all relations with Japan. Go.
Exactly.
Well, that's not gonna happen, and they really like us, and they talking to us, and we are about to get mad
Because we ain't buying up all stock through hostile takeover.
It's like we use our ACG podcast at it. It's like we just stay friends with benefits, baby. Like why we gotta
I want
extra. we cool how we are.
This is what Microsoft have to do. He gonna do just like this. Hey, boo boo, and he gonna slide that ring on, and all those games. See, this is the fear. Now let's let's get to the fear part.
Let's get to the
because
fear.
I'm sick. This is why this is a conversation. This is the reason why it's a conversation. The PlayStation dudes know they only have a couple of bullets in their chamber, right? You know that you got your own joints, right?
Yeah.
But then your own joints ain't secure because Tuesday showed you anything can happen. Anything is possible. All right. So there you go. So now you shaking. Your gun is shaking because you got a couple of bullets left. You that dude waving it, old man with the waving the gun, old man. You don't know which bullet gonna go off. So we go over there and we actually take a SquareEnix bullet out of your gun. You only got like 2 bullets left. Now you playing Russian.
That's what I did say. It's
No,
like, if they
I
could-
agree.
If they did somehow get SquareEnix, it would be like a cut the juggler of Sony. Like,
Yeah.
because it would be so hard for them to come
Those
back.
are the only games you're looking forward to on there.
And the fact the relation, if it was to happen, which I still don't think that, but if it was to happen,
Yeah, it's a far
it's a
if.
bad look because remember, like Square been there for Sony when Sony was down with the whole Nintendo thing. You know what I'm saying? And they helped, with the system and Final Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Bringing that over there, and then even at one point, Sony had the 10% when the Square was going through it.
Right.
They had the 10% interest in them. So. It again the relationship, you know what I'm saying? It with a Japanese company like Attic was saying, like it would be shocking to me if that happened, and I agree. If it did happen, which I don't think it happened. That would be a huge.
If
blow. That would
SquareEnix,
be,
like,
that would be crazy.
It wouldn't even be SquareEnix. Like if SquareEnix willingly sold to an American company like that, they own people would side eye them. Like,
Exactly. And shout out to Slow.
E3
Slow saying what
gonna
I'm
be
saying
crazy.
too. He said if forcing your way to ownership really worked with Japanese developers and publishers, then it wouldn't work when Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo and Square back in 2000. Remember when Nintendo laughed them out the room?
Laughed them out the room because Nintendo wasn't publicly traded.
All right.
See, people can.
I mean, you're not
all they
wrong.
want, and they can be like, "Yo, yeah, Nintendo laughed them out." That's right. I'm not in the streets. Get out of my house. But if you about these streets, you could be purchased by whoever
I could
drive up.
I could just see Phil Spencer coming in. I want to speak to your boss. He's busy today. Well, I'm his boss now, so you better come.
I think 10 cent more than they. That's all I got. But whatever you got.
I don't think.
This was a real.
It's a fun one.
topic.
It's a fun one. It's a fun. I
E3
can't.
I
gonna
do
be
think
crazy
Microsoft's
this year.
buying someone, but it ain't Square.
If it buy them, if it buy them,
You gonna go crazy.
Oh man,
I'm waiting for the video you make if they do
Yeah,
that.
if they ever bought Square, it would. I would have to join King with his foolishness. It's like I honestly feel like
how much more do they gotta do, man?
They don't. To me, they out here moving and shaking already.
if they buy Square, I'm willing to come out openly and say Sony in trouble. Like,
They
in
in trouble already.
trouble.
Tuesday already showed.
Go to King.
It
It's over.
ain't nothing. It's over. The fight is done.
So hold on. I do want to ask the chat.
Yeah.
Chat, if Microsoft bought Square Enix, do you think Sony would be in trouble? Put a 1 for yes, put a 2 for no.
Yeah,
And
let's
put
get
a
it.
3
0
for
in the
King
chat
is
if
right.
They done already.
Yeah,
So
put
what?
a 3.
Yeah.
Put
That's a
a
good
1
one.
for yes, a 2 for no, and a
And
3
zero
for
if the
zero
fight is if the
done.
generation is
They've
over
been
already.
dead.
Yeah, let's see. We got
Put
the
a 0
ones.
in there if they're
We
already
got the
baked
what?
clams.
Who put 3? We say it's supposed to be 0,
Yeah,
but they're
It's
saying
a 0.
3.
It's a 0.
I think they
for
go with
baked
3 with
clams.
King though, because they say I think they saying it's over there. Okay, so a lot
1,
of
2,
ones.
and 3.
A lot of ones with a 3 and a fuzzy stuck a 3 in. All right. Threes are hitting up. Yeah, out of control. Oh, zero. Okay,
Yeah,
put the zero. So 3 and 0 be the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, they bake clams, son. They bake clams.
Oh, so that's double is over? That's what that means? Okay. Y'all savage. Anyway, let's get these super chats and get them out of here, y'all.
We got Flame with the $2 super chat. All right, Sav. Mass Erect and Lord Roughness. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's what's up.
Then we got Brett Bingham, $5 super chat. You know what? I'm not buying WB games. Not selling. No longer for sale doesn't mean they aren't selling.
Regular put bad zeros and then VR over.
Stupid. All right, hold on a second. Then we got Jimbo Jangles, the $10 super chat. Sony looking like Papa Doc at the end of 8 Mile. Speechless, crowd turned. He's scared. He's shook. There's no such thing as a halfway
crook. Ooh, bars. That bomb deep. That shook ones. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't read stuff like that. I'm too white.
You can't read it with the right cadence. You know, you gotta.
I'm gonna read that just like I'd read everything else.
Shout out to Attic.
Then we got Dan the Man Cunningham, $5 super chat. Greetings, lords. I hope Microsoft buys Square. Then they wouldn't treat us like third-class gamers like they do. It's getting better. It's getting better. Then we got Sage.
Square games and Game Pass right now. Shout out.
And we got Sage, $5 super chat. Remember what I said about Square Cog and how unthinkable that seemed. Xbox Japan, .. Squaresoft.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still waiting on Sega, bro. That's
yeah.
Get them.
Brett Bingham, $5 super chat. Just get them too. Buy them all.
Buy them all.
Oh, well.
Brett Bingham, $5 super chat. ET is going to be massive for Xbox. Microsoft isn't just coming for Sony's lunch money. They're also coming for their Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Damn. You gotta take the Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Not my Pokemon
They do technically own the rights to
Yu-Gi-Oh.
They do?
But no, that's Konami. Konami does. Like, but Konami's like destroyed that game, so I wouldn't even care.
We want Konami too.
No, we don't. There's nothing Konami has that inspires me whatsoever.
IPs, give it to me.
If according to the rumors, man, Metal Gear and
shout out to my man Kojima.
Final Fantasy Tactics remake. If they fun speculation, if they ever had a Tactics remake, you would officially hear me be a complete fanboy. Which today I got to post that the next Final Fantasy showdown.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, I like those little polls you're doing. What else you got?
I don't even know who won the last one.
Then we got Black Ronin, $5 super chat. Great interview, great show. Made my slow Sunday a great day. Thank you, brother.
Thank y'all for pulling up too.
Yeah, for sure. Max, the lazy otaku, $2 super chat. Game Pass meme coming soon. Get Twitter ready later.
Salute the Max.
Then we got Clutch Man, $5 super chat. Great Obsidian interview and shout out to the Living Split Screen podcast. My favorite show alongside ILP. Yeah, big shout out to Pong Soul and Steel over there.
Yeah, shout out to Pong and them.
Yeah, those guys do great work. Then we got Lord Roughness, £5 super chat. The slander the X got for their UI and controller looking the same. Now it looks like the whole if it's not broke approach wins. The Book of X.
Yeah, got him. I gotta hit him with the book. Yes, that
exactly.
Smart delivery and all that was in the game. Huh?
Then we got Michael, aka Best Size Finest, $5 super chat. Lord, just own it. This is more Xbox than Sony. Y'all got a better chance of having Phil Spencer than Jim Ryan any day serious. And yes, RIP PlayStation 5.
Still gonna get them Sony devs on, man.
Yeah, man.
Whenever they show, we got them.
Malik Tyler, $5 super chat. He just makes it seem like they're afraid of us.
Hey, man.
They might be scared of King.
They might be scared of King. Yes.
You done seen, I done called them they're the preferred choice of the TCL owner.
Savage.
And we got Malik Tyler, $5 super chat. Phil Spencer, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. You're going to be mine.
Yo! I know what y'all referencing. Y'all bad. I know what y'all referencing. Stop it.
No.
I ain't here for no what.
What happened, song?
No.
Just
Just reading that.
Yeah, you know they are.
Then we got Aaron with the $5 super chat. King did it. I'm dead now.
Yeah, that easy man hallway was crazy. That was crazy.
Hold on a second.
Okay, I think
too
far.
So the Ravenflow is next. The Ravenflow, $2 super chat. A purchase of Square would force Japan to buy Xbox. Force Japan to buy
the whole country.
The whole country.
So I do want to put some in the chat real quick. I need some opinions.
Yes.
All my Final Fantasy heads in that chat. Put 4 titles you think I should put in this next showdown. 4 Final Fantasy titles. Put them all together.
No doubt. You got all super chat stuff?
Vagabundo, $5 super chat. I like Ravenflow's thinking.
That's the last word in the building. So we all caught up, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get this poll, get up out of here, man. I feel like we're prompt today. I like this.
Yeah,
I need this. I gotta get to my Outriders.
No doubt. How nice of you. I'm in my inventory glitch. New ILP poll, LOGNET poll up. Should be up now. With all the latest rumors regarding video game company acquisitions, which pairing do you think makes the most sense? Choices are A, Sony and SquareEnix, B, Microsoft and Sega, C, Microsoft and Nintendo, or D, I don't care, Tencent still out here scaring everybody in these gaming streets. That is the choices. Please rock the vote. It's up on lordsofgaming.net. Yo, please go to lordsofgaming.net. Yo, hit those votes, man. It really helps us. Yeah, go to the site.
We got some stuff happening.
We got a lot of stuff happening with Lords-of-Gaming.net. So please hit the website. Let me plug a little bit. Hit the website, lordsofgaming.net. Go to the poll. It's up now. Get your vote. Let your voice be heard.
Where my video go up?
Put that in the chat. Put it in the chat so they can go straight to it.
Yeah. Well, how about the co-host help me?
I don't have access to it. I don't have
how
it.
About someone help me while I'm talking?
But
let's do that.
So people keep asking me, King, when we're gonna do our next It Takes Two.
You guys, listen. A lot of things happen. We're not static individuals that don't work. You know, we actually have jobs and lives and stuff like that. So whenever we can convene
what time would you be available tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Monday. I don't think I have anything to do tomorrow. But I got a couple of things to do. So just hit me up.
Afternoon,
we'll figure it out. You know, day before type of stuff is kind of weird.
So super chat.
Yeah, we got Sage to $5 super chat. Remember Half Baked? Microsoft this nasty Nate to the teacher. Give me your fruit cup.
Out of control.
Then we got Malik Tyler, $5 super chat. Phil Spencer, Square Enix, Konami Soccer. What's your price? Yeah, I'm not feeling that Konami thing. You gotta pronounce that correctly.
Salute.
Then we got Warlord with the $5 super chat. Phil Spencer waiting with the grape jelly and the grease. I like you and I want you.
Y'all better stop. I know what y'all doing. Y'all better stop. It's the Lord's Day. Y'all out here fornicating out here. Stop it. Anyway, that's what I got. Please rock the vote. It's up there. Thank you. Oh, wow. They still come us. Yeah,
Siphonics with the £10 super chat. Wanted to know Square would make Xbox much stronger in Europe/UK as well as Asia. Square's merchandise and anime and manga would be a boon as they have always outsourced this aspect in the past. Yeah.
All right, let's start going with this before they make us stay.
Yeah, because they're gonna make us stay. All right, so
don't mention it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't exactly. Lord Addict, where can people find you on fire today? What's going on?
You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. Twitter.
Thank you. I like that.
You can find me on YouTube at Gaming Addict. Keep in mind, I will be streaming Demon Souls tomorrow at 1 p.m. If King is available in the afternoon, I guess I'll double stream tomorrow and stream that with him too. And I'm probably gonna have an Addict World Tuesday going up. So
we get a new Addict World.
Keep checking on the Twitter. You know, Hustle, put my Twitter in there so they know to get all that information.
Thank you, Hustle. We appreciate you, brother. Yeah, the Addicts World is fire. Love the streams. Like what you got going on. Love the engagement on social media. What you're doing with the Final Fantasy stuff is very cool. Thank you, sir. You have been killing it on fire. Even though you didn't put the Lords of Gaming in the chat, but I still love everything else you're doing. Anyway, Lord Sov making his annual podcast guesting appearance. That's it. He's done for the year.
I'm actually not done.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The people want Sov, especially after the Colin episode. I got so much positive feedback from you. People love what you had. They said it was the heart and soul of it. You killed it. Where can people find you? What you got going on, sir?
You can find me on Twitter, Lord Sov ILP, BX Sovereign, and PSN Xbox Live. I'll be playing MOB The Show on my Xbox. I'll be doing that. And next Friday, I'm not gonna say where I'm gonna be next Friday evening. You guys could figure it out because it hasn't been announced yet. So, but I will be on a podcast next Friday evening.
You realize there's like 3 podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up.
No doubt. And then of course I'm still trying to figure out. I gotta figure out with Lady Sob, so I can make time for it to get on with Gaz and Asa over there. So
Oh, that's what's up. We appreciate it. You got to get that. Yeah, shout out to the Sauce. Shout out to Asa, Gaz. Game on Daily. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So
no
that's
doubt. And of course, the legendary Lord King, the Prophet, making us laugh today with his aggressive corporate tactics. What do you have going on today, sir?
Well, right now I'm gonna get on this Outriders and grind this stuff out. Pause. I might be on 2XP very soon. Just trying to work stuff out.
Nice.
Because they times is different,
Yeah.
and I work nights, so you are not getting me past 5 o'clock. So you know, so stuff like that may have to do a special session or early in the daytime or something like that. But you can find me on Twitter, King David OTW out there. I'm not giving no smoke to nobody because dudes they're terrified of me.
They're quiet.
They're terrified.
Right now, okay.
They've been waving the white flag, but too bad the white flag got on that. You've been waving the wrong.
King is like, screw your surrender. I don't want your surrender.
This is war.
Corporate King, bro. He's vicious. He's vicious, man. No doubt, man. Good to see you out here moving and shaking, love. And then, of course, you already know it's me, Lord Cognito, man. Again, yo, salute to see everybody pull up when we do the developer intros. I know sometimes they don't always do the biggest, but to see everybody pull up and just engage and listen. And
Yeah, it's actually a really good good call pull up today.
Yeah. This
definitely hit that like button. Let's get that over 400 likes before
hit
we
the
end
like,
the show.
share that out to the to the realm if you enjoyed it. We really like try to do these things. And
shout out to those 4 downvotes.
Shout out to the 4 downvotes that hated, didn't want to learn nothing today.
Well,
but
no,
that
was no, they didn't like when I said that, we're going to get them any way we want them. We're going to do it.
They didn't like the elbow.
They didn't like the slide in your beard. Because they know this is exactly how they do too. Hey, Ma. And you gotta do the bicep bulge. You got to bulge the bicep at the end of it.
Anyway,
bulge and like,
you're a savage, yo.
They can reach out and grab you.
We got a ton of fun stuff planned, man. Stay tuned. More fun, more stuff. Addict knows, Soft knows, King knows. Again, this summer's all the way to the summer is gonna be lit. So please stay tuned. Thank you for rocking out. Get the super chat off. I think we missed a couple.
Yes, sir. No, we just missed. We just got 108 Dragons TV, $5 super chat. With great interviews comes great responsibility, and you guys are awesome. Facts.
Yo, salute 108, man. Support the Dragons Den podcast. I believe he does that on Saturday. Yes, King with the one elbow. The one elbow, no doubt. Look, we are out of here. We catch y'all later. Peace.